Intro and recording. Hello, everyone, and welcome to episode 399 of Tenno Clock. I am MDRLOz. This week, as always, we have Xeno.
Yo.
However, we also have another special guest this week, who Xeno will introduce with a spiel now. Go, Xeno.
So this week we have the lovely, talented Warframe creator artist DatLoon. Yes, I did say that the first time. So, yep.
It's okay.
Right. So, as we've started this new segment, we're going to do a little introduction thing. So, Loz, please hit meme number 9 until I can actually get a proper thing. So, this was actually one of the pieces we had on 10 o'clock some time ago. It's a lovely piece. And, yeah, tell us a bit about it. Why did you pick this one for your shout out?
I think it was one of pieces I'm very fond of it because it was, I think, first piece but Frame account actually retweeted, and it started I started being noticed because of this. It was shared widely. I think it was first time when I broke like 1,000 likes.
Cool.
It was for me something very big. And people discussed it a lot because it's like this topic in Warframe, like are Warframes alive? What their relationships with operators and all that. And sometimes when people started heated debates with me about it, so I think this piece raised a lot of interest to me at one point.
Sorry, keep on talking. Right, I think this is an absolutely lovely piece. I mean, the way you do the coloring. Okay, so first off, I've got to ask, right? Is this a digital piece?
No, it's traditional piece. I scanned and edited in Photoshop.
Wow.
So, is it water painted?
It's watercolor and Copic markers.
It's incredible. It's honestly, it's stunning. So are all your pieces watercolors?
It's mostly watercolors and Copic markers. I think some pieces are more heavily edited because my scan is not super good. And sometimes I need more heavy editing of my works, so they may feel like mixed media because I can use filters and stuff. But initially, it's all traditional.
It's wow. It's. I wouldn't have guessed that was scanned in. That it's absolutely gorgeous. I love the posing. I love the use of the composition between colors. Yeah, it's honestly, it's incredible. Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Well,
should we move on to
no? Well, before you move on, I think it really is a sign of either a lovely piece or an excellent artist's work when you provoke people into having discussions with you about the artwork. You know, it really shows if it inspires people to ask questions. And I don't know what those people you say, quite animated people, what they were saying to you, but the fact that you can inspire people like that with a piece of work really does show how. I have to lift. I can't see it when I'm got my headset on, but I have to lift my headset up and just look at it. It's amazing. Oh, it's just great. Anyway, let's move on. Next piece.
I love the use of the yeah. Okay, cool. So this piece.
Look at that.
Now, I'm very sure. Again, we've had this on 10 o'clock.
Not sure, actually. I don't think I've seen that one.
I swear we have. It's hard to tell, but this is this Mira Casades's Saren?
Yes. Murakasades actually won my. I had a giveaway where one random winner would have the portrait of Warframe made. So Mura won this, so I did it for them, and later they commissioned me actually, and so it was very nice, nice exchange.
Even though we haven't had them on, I'd love to have them on, but relationship isn't there right now. But I can always tell it's their Saren, because their Saren, just like Veldemoth's Warframe concept. I can never remember what the Warframe concepts, but I recognize this specific Saren. It's hilarious. It's like, but so okay, so tell us more about this piece.
I think, how it was made, or what. My biggest inspiration was screenshots which Muro sent me.
Mm-hmm.
It was very detailed explanation of how Saren should look. So screenshots were very good in radiating her energy, and she, of course, with her muse, if I'm not wrong. And I was like, how can I portray such a well-known Warframe, like even outside of the main game? Because a lot of people actually know, like, this is more of a frame, this is more a Saren. And I tried. I was actually very nervous, and I tried to not how it called in English. I tried to give it justice as much as I could, because I was really nervous, and I wanted to give her some like ferocious energy, where she's like running in action and everything like floating around her spores spreading around, all that. I actually used for reference of her pose a picture of a female athlete running.
Remind me to ask you for a picture of that, because I have absolutely no idea. So I'm going to send you a request in a second. Link us the reference. Yes, I continue.
I think I said what I wanted. I'm not sure. Like there weren't any particular decision to do this, but I am very fond of this very piece, because I feel like I was able both to show my art style and show which Warframe it is, and to show off a little bit.
So one thing I don't know how to truly describe it, but I do feel that the darker tones combined with the strong highlight tones really, again, I don't like to use this word pop in this actual piece. Like, was there? So if actually, Loz, can you do me a favor? Could you go back to the last piece, meme number 9?
This is art review with Xeno.
No, I'm trying to explain. So like,
it's fine. I need time to stop.
What I'm saying here is like in this piece, there's very distinct difference between the operator and Hydroid, where Hydroid sort of blends in with the background. The operator is very separate, right? But it's the operator is more on the same level throughout the visuals of the operator. Whereas if you go back to meme number 10, Loz, you can actually see here that the tendrils around her shoulder, her back and her hair actually seem to stand out more separately from the arms, the face, the legs. That's what I'm trying to ask. What really was the method used to make them stand out? Is this just, Photoshop used to enhance this? Or is this actually just purely done with watercolors?
How to say it? Like I use watercolor. I use a lot of color pens to finalize it. Since watercolor is very capricious too. It waves around a lot. I mean, If you want, I can describe you the process briefly if you want.
Yeah, go for it.
Okay, so I start sketch with pencils.
Mhm.
Then I do, how to put it, the first type line art. This
Yep.
is the one which go under watercolor. Then I watercolor it. My head. Watercolor will blend in and will remove some of line art, but colors will be quite bright. Then I will use markers to highlight the details. And then I will use another pen to highlight certain details so they will pop more and they will be, this goes above all markers and watercolor. My God, why I keep mistaking this?
You're fine.
Yeah.
So it's mostly the markers that are used to emphasize the detail that are in her tendrils, yeah?
Yes. But since watercolor will be like bright, but
Yeah.
it still blends, I use a similar tool of markers to highlight the darker part, and then it will pop this way. And then I will use highlighting it by pen. It's usually a black one or a dark red one in pieces like this.
Because I'll be honest, like, again, I just thought that you digitally did it in Photoshop.
No, I have a real piece. If you want, I can send you later a very poor photograph of the real one.
Oh no. I completely, this completely believe you. And again, this one's absolutely lovely. Should we move on to the third one, Oz? So this piece, what was the inspiration behind it?
It was actually, I think a lot of pieces I done were made for somebody or inspired by somebody, because I got to Warframe because my friend invited me in 2016. And they loved Zephyr, like way before she was reworked. They always loved her. And I decided to make this portrait of Zephyr for them. I was very much inspired and tried to incorporate Orokina aesthetic with all the golden flowers and things. But then to show the idea that Zephyr is, well, how to put it, queen of birds. Yeah, and I have put Calibri around her. I'm not sure how it's pronounced in English. In my language is Calibri.
I have no idea, unfortunately.
Filigree?
Filigree?
Is that what it is?
No. I mean, birds in my language are called colibri.
Oh.
Right.
Yeah. I'm not sure how I can go English.
No,
you're fine. You're fine.
They're birds. Like
kingfishers. Yes, still birds. Yeah, and I wanted it all to pop as much as I can, and it was a rather small piece. It's made on square paper, and I didn't mean it to be very serious, but I liked it. My friend liked it. People liked it, and I was like, it was one of the very first fan arts Warframe I did. I think it was third fan art I did, probably first in color I ever did.
It's gorgeous.
Yeah, I wanted to highlight it because it's very old and in some way it's forgotten, but I'm still very fond of it. Like the operator piece is a theme I like to explore a lot, to explore the Warframes. I think my headcanon is they're completely sentient, but they don't express themselves much. And operators still communicate with them telepathically through the somatic link. And I like to explore this theme a lot. I'm actually doing a little comic about it. Yeah, and Sarin one is one of highlights. People liked it a lot. And this one is one of the first works I had where I started to establish my style in painting Warframe because it was still very new for me. I never painted something like this before.
Well, it's phenomenal. It's gorgeous. I love the aesthetic of the gold. You know, it's very reminiscent of Titania and Oberon. Oberon's Feyarch with like the Titania primes, sort of like little butterflies, and you know, I very much like this piece. It's, you know, very well balanced in color, and as you said, you know, it is very bright and stands out a heck of a lot. So where can people? I don't know if Loz has anything he wants to add.
No, I think he did fine. Cool. I was like, there we go.
So where can people find you on the internet? Where can people see your work?
I am DatLoon on Twitter, and I pretty much the same everywhere. If you want to find me, you can find me under the same nickname on Instagram, but it's a little bit more personal, so less fan arts, more silly photos. So I think my main gallery is ArtStation one. I'm also DatLoon there. It's all very simple. And Twitter.
Okay, so in the description below, there'll be links to DatLoon's art on ArtStation and Twitter. And if she so decides, we'll put it on Instagram as well. So, cool. Right, Loz, do you wanna turn that off? But we can't just end the interview there. We have to get your say on who the winning emblem is for this week's Emblems of the Week. So, using whatever criteria you wish, Loon, which emblem wins? You can see closer up versions in.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think that I like the composition on the first one, but as a person who uses colors a lot, I like color tones on the second one more. So it's a little bit of tough choice.
You want to say it's a draw?
I have a question, actually. Are they going to be displayed in this resolution or bigger?
This resolution.
Yeah.
I mean, when we got them, they were much bigger. Wow, yeah. Mine was much bigger. Loz's wasn't.
No, wow. So the rule is we have to find them on someone's arm in-game. They have to be on someone's arm. We can't go to find like their profile page and that. So you have to find it on the arm. And people sometimes just won't stay still.
They really don't stay still.
So we're desperately, you never see me or Xeno on a relay. We're just about, you know, like people they're like, oh look, there's Barakatia. I will talk to Barakatia. And then there's two idiots doing this, going around people, trying to, stand, I need the arm. No, he's doing an animation now. Wait, there. You know, so they're not always the biggest. It's a shame.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, since it's used on Warframe, did I understand it correctly? I mean, they used on the shoulders, right?
Yeah.
Yes. I think I like the ornamental part of first more, but ultimately, I think I would prefer second because it's clear. It can be seen on any fashion, and it still blends in enough for it to not be out of place. So I think that it's the second one.
Yes, you lost!
Twist mine again.
Oh,
I'm on a roll. I've won a few now.
Yeah, I think you have actually, genuinely. Right, so that's it for the the emblems, the intro. Thank you very much for all of that. We're now going to move on to the Dojo Dusting, and I'm going to remember to take the time this time.
And as the first part of Dojo Dusting, Xeno would like to tell you that if you would like to win some platinum at home and decide which one you think is the winning emblem, go into the description of this video where you will find a link. On that link, put in your information, including your name, your in-game alias, that's the name you use in-game, in Warframe, and the platform of your choice. Fill it in and push submit, and you will be in of a chance to win 75 platinum, which we do every 2 weeks, is it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can't. Is that a 26 or a 20 or a 20? I can't read that number. That number's tiny.
What number?
I think it's 26 on the time. On the timer in the bottom right hand corner.
Okay, I'll go.
It's 26.
Yeah,
I think
20.
It's 26.
There's 20 minutes 46 seconds at the moment.
Oh, it's 20. Okay, wrong entirely. Right.
Right, yes.
Right.
Oh, and we give out per platform. So we give out one for PC, one for Xbox, one for PS4/5, and one for Switch. And I know that people on Switch are really enjoy the limited pool where there's only about 3 or 4 people fighting for that 75 platinum, which adds up because apparently the Switch prices on the market for things like Prime Warframes is expensive. That goes far on Switch, but still, we only get a few on Switch. So if you're on Switch, do try and submit because not many people there, and some people keep winning weeks on weeks.
This is where Loon, for your benefit. Yeah, we have someone called Tucker Wins. He has won so many of the platinum giveaways for Switch, and I could just imagine Tucker Wins going on in the comments like, "No, you fool!
Stop telling them." Well, I think he said the other week. So he's won many weeks of it, and he saved up to buy Ash Prime, which you think that's an old paradigm. And it cost him 750 platinum. I think it only costs about 100 or 200 on PC, but on Switch, because the pool's smaller, it's very expensive. Yes. Anyway, that's it. So Dojo Dusting, Xeno.
Right. So I haven't actually spoken to Loz about this. But so we're not committing to anything. I would like to know what the interest is in a Tenno Clock subreddit.
Oh no!
so I don't know. I'm not going to commit Loz to reading all the comments.
I would. I love Reddit.
No. We've already got someone else that's already committed to doing that before we've even started. But basically, I don't know how many of our listeners actually use Reddit. So there will be one of the polls is like, do you use Reddit and things? And if there's enough people, we'll consider, doing a subreddit and going from there. But it's, it is what it is. Right. So that's pretty much it for Dojo Dusting. Shall we move on to the war report?
Sure. Okay, so just I do want a jingle. I want like boom.
Oh, let me message Joey now. Joey.
Right. So anyway, so just Warframe war report, which is what anything important's happened in Warframe this week. I've even got the timer up. I swear. Oh no, I've lost it. I lost it again. I know I have it. Oh no, I have it. It's right in front of me. So yes. So first of all, the Sisters of Parvos update has now gone live. Obviously, it went live on the past Tuesday on all platforms. So do experience that if you haven't logged in. Do give it a go. But just to let you know, well, at the moment I'm reading this, it says 7 days. But by the time this comes out, it'll be what? 5 or 4 days till TennoCon. So TennoCon 2021, do check that out next Saturday. So that's only about 5 or 6 days away from when this comes out. Make sure you go onto the TennoCon website. You can get your digital ticket, which will give you access to a whole range of things, including the Barracutia yearly TennoCon relay, where he brings his entire stock. So do check that out on the TennoCon website. Maybe we'll put a link in the description just in case, but I'm sure all of our listeners know about TennoCon. Right, so that's it really for the war report, because we're just waiting for next week with the big week of the year. So that's it, my friend.
So there is an additional thing on Twitch, but I'm not 100% sure how long it lasts. So basically, they've got this Twitch Prime drop thing where if you're watching for 30 minutes, you get like this goodie bag that you redeem. You have to remain active on it because you can keep on redeeming it. But the problem is, I don't know when it ends, and I don't have any details to when it ends. So it may have unfortunately ended, but hopefully it's still running. So if it is still running, everyone go jump on Twitch. Go check out your favorite Twitch streamer who's playing Warframe. Cough Nazeth Cough, and I think there's also going to be an upcoming giveaway. So a giveaway for one Riptide pack to one lucky Tenno. I have until the 4th. So yeah, I don't know which one the Riptide pack is. I think that might be the most expensive one for the Ureli bundle. Do you know what I mean?
Yes.
The one that's on the market.
Yes, it doesn't though the most important part of those bundles.
It is because it's 450 platinum, Ureli, it's that
But
one.
the most important part of that bundle is it's the only way to get Ureli's K-Drive summon thing as a domestic drone.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Yes, this is the only way.
You have to get it to that.
I actually wanted to say that I'm going to host a giveaway on the Yareli pack soon as well.
Well, if you do it before Monday when this goes live, we'll happily shout it out. That's not a problem. So so we'll in the description there'll be links to both. Well, definitely my one and maybe Loon's as well. So I'm not going to commit Loon to doing anything she doesn't want to.
No, it's okay. I think I could do this. I right now host a very late giveaway on Gara Prime.
Yeah.
Since I was all over too. And I wanted to do another one as well. So I think I will be able to do it in Sunday.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. All right. Okay. So I think that is it for
introductions.
The war report.
Yep.
So let me take the time. Oh, damn it. I didn't take the time down for the war report. God damn it. Why is this so hard? Right. Okay. So
one job.
So shut up.
It is one job now. It really is.
It is.
You used to have a go at me when I did the times.
Oh, God, it's tiny though. Right. Okay. So now we've got the topics. So our first topic for this week is the Tenno will lose the new war. And our second topic is, I just scroll past the title, I'd be more excited about new pets if I didn't know that I'd still end up with the Smita 100% of the time. How do you know it's a Reddit topic? It sounds like an isekai. I mean, sorry. Let's move. Sorry. It's the really, really long titles.
Oh, yes. I see what you mean.
Yeah.
Right, yes, I'm
sorry.
Topic 1.
Right, topic 1. Sorry, my bad. Right. The Tenno will lose if the enemy faction continues to improve at their current rate. And the Tenno do not develop new strategies and technology. When the Sentients devised the Orphix and the ability to shut down a Tenno connection to a Warframe, we were lucky to have Necromechs, which are outdated and defunct, and should have been completely scrapped if not for Father's obsession with them. These even may not help in the future, as Natar will be taking them into account for future encounters. We were lucky to find Arkwings when Vahek deployed the Fomorian fleet. Parvos has a near unlimited army of Spectres and Sisters, as well as the ability to construct one of the most powerful frames, all of which require specific tools to destroy.
Yeah. This is more of a lore topic, really, first one, isn't it?
Yes. So, First off, Loon,
Yes.
have you played the War Within, the Sacrifice?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. It's my favorite quest, especially Sacrifice.
Oh,
right.
Okay. Yeah, of course. Makes sense. Yes. With you.
So So
after that lovely piece of artwork, yes, it all adds up. Now I'm like, aha.
Yeah. No, I was actually mostly referring to our conversation we had earlier when Loon was talking about the Umbra statue I have behind me.
Ah.
But crap, you broke my brain, Loz. So I assume you've also done Call of Tempestari.
Yes, absolutely.
Cool. Right, okay. So the only one you haven't done is the Urali quest.
Yes, I didn't do it yet. I plan to, but
No, it's fine. It's fine. As you mentioned to me previously, it's too hot. It's too hot to be near a computer. I completely get that. Right. So you seem very keen on the lore. How do you feel about the Orphix, the introduction to the Orphix?
mm,
The fact that
Uh,
they turn off our warframes.
at first I thought that it's that is like more a little how to put it. It's a game mechanic to put our necromaps in use first.
Yeah.
But I tried to understand it from the lore standpoint, and I think I feel like it's a premise for us to. I mean, it's my wish, okay? It's my interpretation of the lore. Just to be saying that we need to straighten our connection to our warframes to overcome Orphix influence.
Ooh.
I
Yes.
like the idea
Yeah.
of strengthening the connection.
Yeah.
Go on.
Yes, and our somatic link, it was tested a lot of times. Like War Within was testing it. Sacrifice was testing it, but in another way, since we were introduced it to Umbra and his story, his side of this Orokin war, how many atrocities were made during it, crimes Balas committed. Since like we just had little bits and pieces of what Balas actually did, but this one it was really heavy, and it gave us more introspection into what was happening in Orokin Empire. I'm sorry, I think I have fireworks outside.
It's fine. I was wondering if there was a train going through your apartment/house.
No, it's fireworks.
That makes more sense. Sorry, really random. A part of me wonders, like, why isn't there some kind? So warframes have a very strong biological component to them, but
Yes.
why is there no sense of resistance to this? Like, oh well, we're booting the operators out of the warframes. Why is there no sense of being able to overcome that? Why? Oh no, you gotta use tin cans. It's like, oh, your phones are dead. Now you must use a cannon string. Why? Why can't I just charge my phone? No. It's off now. You can't use your phone. Got to use a cannon string. What?
Yes, seems like it. Maybe it's a solution for the time being, since we didn't invent, quote unquote, the solution to overcome Orphixes. I thought that it's something we will have on Duviri. Yes, I mean, it's obvious. I wait for Duviri so much. Yes. I still hope we'll hear something about it this time.
Maybe. I mean, Steve did promise that it's definitely not coming this year, and he has in the past said, no, we must scale back and no more promising you things that are way off. So who knows? I agree with you, though. It'd be nice if they a little teaser and say maybe coming next year, we promise, would be fine.
Well, I mean, you can't say you promise. Because then I get all like angry because
you do get angry with dates.
You promised me. No, knew what? Oh, we're gonna get angry. Oh, more. Why is that? No, sorry.
It's only one more week, Xeno. One more week, then we'll see.
Yes.
I don't. A part of me feels like maybe there should be a biological component to this, because then the warframes can generate a natural resistance to the Orphix, right? But then there's a lot of pseudoscience being included here, where there's the whole ability to possess a warframe. So, and the whole transference where you're remote controlling something over such insane distances, it kind of doesn't make sense at all. And I'm wondering if we need someone that is like a warframe expert like Ballas to actually improve the warframes. Like, oh yeah, let me stick this gland in your brain, and then you don't have to worry about getting kicked out by an Orphix. But the problem is that, thinking about it, they're like, warframes are such forgotten technology. No one apart from Ballas knows how the fuck they work.
Teshin does.
Also Helmet.
How does Teshin know?
Well,
Okay, I'll give you Helminth. I'll definitely get you right with Helminth. Dear Helminth, please give me a gland in my brain that actually stops this from happening.
Well, I would say that, sadly, from a gameplay point of view, seeing as it would make the whole game mode defunct, I doubt we'll see that added to the game lore-wise. But then they can't just take that as that's it, because they've added these Orphixes into the game. So we should see, in theory, if the Sentients do actually try and have a war, we should see them used again in some format. And if they don't use them, it's a plot hole in that direction as well. That it's like, well, I can understand why you're not getting rid of them because the game requires it, but then you can't just ignore them for being used for other offensives. And I do like the idea of, I'd love to see them used in a quest where all of a sudden the necromech doesn't work as well, and we have to it shows that we're kind of evolving. Like, it wouldn't change the existing game modes, but just within the quest, you just have to use a Tenno, and then you have to do something to, as you say, reinforce the bond with your warframe, and then you can use a necromech and a warframe within those quest ones. That would be nice. I do like the idea of like the reinforcing the bond, because obviously at first it was just a complete puppet. It felt as soon as you woke up in the second dream, it fell to just fell to the ground until you made contact with it again. And then you see, at the end it moves slightly because it breaks the war. But then in the next quest, then you're actually able to use your warframe as a sort of conduit, so you can teleport yourself to the warframe. And then the sacrifice even built on that it's like, well, what is the warframe? Let's go into that and deeper. It would be nice to because the sacrifice was you and Umbra, who would like to see that sort of thing, but it would have to be very generic for you and your chosen warframe kind of thing. That you do see a bit of a bond form. That'd be kind of cool. Because I remember originally when they were going to do the second stream, your warframe that you used was actually going to get permanently damaged.
Yeah.
It was actually going to have a scar down there where war broke through it, and it was going to be permanently there, because that's, the warframe you took to Second Dream, like you can always remember. And in the end, they didn't go with it, but it would have been cool. So, yeah. I like that whole personal aspect of it. So.
Yeah. No, I would have loved that.
Yes, I actually like this aspect as well. My very first warframe, which I took on Second Dream, was Loki Prime. And it's my main warframe up to this day. And I really feel like it's the first warframe you are doing your quest with feels very personal when you do it the first time. And I would actually love if DE would lock your first choice, much like they done with your choices in dialogue. Since it's like if you done it, your choice is locked with the dialogue. I think they could do this with your first warframe as well. Even if you don't have this warframe anymore, like if you like get rid of him, her, or them, or if you will make this warframe again, if it's the same warframe you done your quest with, they should have this scar, I think, to keep the memory.
It would be cool.
Mate, I don't think it's outside of the remit that they could just go, yeah, this is your quest warframe, whatever, and we've locked you in, and here's a free warframe slot to because you can't get rid of this warframe anymore. It's permanently in your account. We're giving you the space that's now taken up. Yeah.
Yes, and I think if people are upset with this, you can to warn them before the start of the quest that they should choose the warframe they love and they want to use all the time for this particular choice.
Yeah.
Yeah, you could have a little pop-up that warns people, this is a cinematic quest. It would be best. It's best viewed if you use your favorite warframe and favorite gear. Just as a little message. That'd be cool. Yeah. Those are good times when Second Dream came out. Right, back to our impending destruction from the sentience. However.
Yes.
Yes.
It was a little bit far away. I for a second forgot where I stopped. It was about straightening the bond between warframe and operator.
Yes.
It was my theory how it will go. At least, it was my wish how it will go because of Duviri. At first, I thought it's just a game mechanic, but now with Duviri still being in the works and new war continuing slowly and invasion slowly occupying us more and more, I'm interested in how Tenno will grow up with warframes and their automatic link will grow with them.
You don't see a warframe in the Lanes of Duviri trailer, do you?
No. You see the remnants of a Dax. The remnants of a Dax horse.
Yes.
And then 2 operators.
Yeah. And a spaceship.
Led to believe the same.
No, it's the same operator.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know if they outwardly said that, but I mean, that's what everyone's taken on.
Yeah, that's what it is kind of implying. Yeah. Okay.
Heavily implied.
Yeah, do you know, actually, this whole strengthening the bond thing, I mean, obviously this topic here is about we need to improve our technology. But think about it. The game is called Warframe. Just realised. So wouldn't it be good?
Question.
That's how we don't improve weapons, we improve ourselves.
Mind explosion here, right? Okay.
Yeah, okay.
Mind explosion, right?
Right.
What if Planes of Duviri can only be accessed by the operator because it's like between... It's kind of like the Void, and they can travel to the Warframe from the Lisette via the Planes of Duviri, right? So right. I don't know if you're aware of how the X-Men character Nightcrawler teleports. He can teleport within what?
No, go.
Right. He teleports within a 2-mile radius of his current location, but he actually does it by going into another dimension. And in the comics, comics are weird, right? They slowed down the duration of him being in said dimension. He could actually perceive the dimension, and thus he was actually able to teleport for much further distances.
Right.
Right. But it, could you just imagine that? So it's like, oh wait, I was trying to transfer to my Warframe. I've ended up in the plains of Deviri. So your Warframe could actually be in the normal mission, right? And you have just separated yourself into the plains of Deviri. So you could actually have like 2 concurrent missions happening at the same time.
I see. Well, I thought you were about to jump on a thing where you were going to say that, like, in the planes, so like the planes of Deviri is sort of like the void link between Operator and Warframe, and like how in the Sacrifice we had sort of like we were technically like those last bits where you see Umbra, you know, and you see him and things, and you see his history. That is technically like part of the planes, and so that we're going to strengthen our link through the planes because it's like the void, and that's where the link's happening, and you've got to find your Warframe in the void, or like the part of the Warframe that is part of the void, or something.
Kinda, but I would say this is like, you know, with the Sacrifice, it's like, oh, this is a corridor. They made special corridors like that lead straight to Umbra, right? So
because he's so strong, he actually has a straight corridor.
Yeah,
but other Warframes.
But effectively, maybe the Operator becomes so strong it shatters the corridor, and as a result, you can go bloody anywhere. You could have Warframes in multiple missions, and you jump between them.
Never gonna.
That's never gonna happen.
No, it's never gonna happen. I think because we still can control only one person at a time. But I think it could like mix up. Like the one moment you move with your Warframe, and the another moment you move with your Operator, and they kind of it's kind of puzzle they do together.
Yeah.
But what's about this?
Yeah, it's like the kind of like, but they could have taken this further. The puzzles in the lunar tile set where, you know, you've got the future and the past, but instead it's like the physical realm and the plains of Deviri, and like you could do stuff to affect, but it'd be so cool.
Yeah, it will be very cool. I'm sorry, does my microphone has a very noise recently?
No.
Good.
Oh, you're
fine.
Oh, you can hear me, or just me, right?
Yeah.
Okay, nice.
Yeah, no, we're all good. Okay, so I think the big question, though, right now with this topic is, why is it we are only like able to find old, quote unquote, defunct technology like the Necromechs, like the Arcwings? You know, why this feels, correct me if I'm wrong here, Loz, very Warhammer 40k-ish, but instead of finding cool, super powerful weapons of mass destruction, we're finding matchsticks.
No, we are finding super cool weapons of some destruction. You know, a Necromech is basically a walking tank, you know, from the olden days. And it is very 40k, you're right. The fact that, and that like there is no modern production of Necromechs. In fact, to be honest, it almost looks like the how to build them is lost, because you literally have to find broken ones on the, you know, in Demos and strap them back together, you know, through bits and pieces, which is just like 40k, you know, because they've lost the old ways and technology. You make a good point there. It's like, well, all of our improvements are still mostly coming from what Orokin tech we dig up. We haven't seen the Grineer try and clone a better Warframe, and the Orpus try and produce for us better tech to combine with it, or a better Necromech, a better gun, you know. I know they do make a few weapons, but you know what I mean. They're not, they're equal to Orokin designs. They're never trying to jump off them. In fact, the Seer, the Grineer Seer, is one of the few things which actually does attempt to take that and go further, but, you know, visually. Yeah.
Okay, so my next question. Loon, this is relevant. Loon, do you like Deimos?
I think it's very atmospheric, and I actually spent a lot of my time there. But it was, how to put it, it was my problem with any big territory in Warframe. I like to explore it. I like to give my time to find all secrets. I like to do isolation vaults. But after some time, I get tired to do missions, like the main missions. And often I found myself finding more pleasure to just to walk around and catching fish and trying to save my future pets than doing missions. And I think it was my biggest grudge with any open world and Warframe. So I would say in most part I loved it because I like to when the explore on infestation and Orokin because it tells us directly or indirectly about Warframes.
So my question for you
yes.
Is how would you feel if the Necromech enthusiast father actually makes brand new spanking Necromechs? Actually never designed before, like this isn't old stuff, he's only just invented it right now.
This will be actually interesting, but I feel like the natural cause why we don't have anything extra new is because Corpus is the only ones who have so many ways of production of new lines of technology, and we won't have an access to this amount of mass production unless we will make a union with somebody from the Corpus.
Okay. I'm loving this conversation. What if we had a quest where we've got to crash a production ship, right, into Deimos, right? So they expand Deimos, and they've got this new ship which is used to mass produce these Necromechs, right? Think about the crashed ship that was used to mass produce the Raptors and how it's still able to produce the Raptor units on Europa.
You could crash the infested Corpus ships because they all still have the Moa production lines in some of the tiles.
Yeah. So you could do that, and then you could start mass producing Necromechs.
Actually, imagine if we will have like have a Corpus tile from Eris, but it's with new Corpus till set redesign, and father actually goes there like as on infested vacation, and goes alone and does the new Necromechs here where his family can see him. Yeah. It will. I know it's a little bit too stretched thin, but it will be fun if he would like ask Kaeli to make him a very special juggernaut, which would travel with Tenno to space, and then got him into the ship, and he would start controlling the ship and made the new Necromech playground. It will be very fun.
Yeah. I think we have fixed this original post, right? We get father up onto a Corpus ship.
Right.
He then mass produces a new strain of
a
new line of Necromechs. Yeah, no, a new line of Necromechs.
Yes.
And then there we go. So no more of this old defunct technology. We now have new technology to fight things like Orphix instead of just the two Necromechs we have right now.
Well, I like the idea about breeding new infested as well. Like, they always try and tame the infested for people to use and it never works. But it'd be great to see if we could do that. I'd love a Juggernaut for a pet. That'd be sweet.
Yes.
I would be down for that if we could get the Helmet to basically eat the Juggernaut and spit it out tamed.
Yeah. Well, you'd grow it. No, you'd have to get flesh cuts and then like bioengineer one, and then it would grow in a pod in the helmet with like tentacles in it as it slowly like boom, grows. You know. You want to feed it to it.
Yes, and then the helmet could make some new looks for it. I mean, helmet is very underused. Helmet is one of the reasons we still have warframes. Helmet, I mean, it was said in the lore. Helmet helps to heal them. Helmet helps to make them. Helmet helps with everything. I feel like if we need more about technology of Orokin, we actually need Helmet to tell us what. And for that, I think we need to strengthen Helmet, or as variant to try to save Ballas. So Ballas would tell us how to work with Helmet.
Well,
Ballas on our side would be good.
A part of me wonders whether or not. So, my suspicion of the plot is going to be that we separate Natar or the Lotus from the grasp of Ballas / Error, and thus the mass production of Orphix should just stop. Which then, but they're not going to remove the game mode. So I don't know. Maybe it could be a case of Natar has linked with Ballas, and now Natar or Lotus has an understanding of how Warframes work. You know, and she can be the one to help us make Warframes 2.0.
It may work, but I think it may start with Nata. I think she had a phrase where she said that she understands how to account necromex next time. So I think we will have more dangers in front of us, which will actually also make the usage of necromex worse in some way, because sentience will adapt to it. And I think that I think we will have more types of enemies which will disrupt our necromex and warframes in more irritating ways. And we will have eventually quests where we will either save Ballas to help, but it will be a problem. We won't be able to do this all the time because Ballas is still connected to the sentience. So we will need a way to separate him or cure him somehow. Maybe use transference to separate his sentient body and his consciousness. Or we will split up Nata and Lotus into two separate entities, because I think they are actually separate, but they are now together because Sentients wanted to be such, and Orokin wanted it to be such because of Ballas' plan. And then there will be like a big action or something. It's all just my big dreams. I'm getting too far away to carry it away.
I think we're fixing Warframe, guys. I think we're fixing all the plot problems. We're making it all better now.
No one mentions the Grineer anymore. They don't do anything.
I feel like sorry.
That's because they don't, pay enough attention to Tilragor. Tilragor would lead them into victory.
Yes, that is part of the problem. Yeah. But that's the thing, is that they weren't called the Orphix. What were they called in Scarlet Spear?
God, there was the Murex, which was the ship.
The ship.
And the Condrix.
So they were called Condrixes. Now, it was really interesting when there was a few lines when they came down, because there was always the Grineer you were fighting against for those, I think. And they were attempting to, this is our prize. You've got to get away from Tenno. It's ours. We'll learn so much from it. And it's like, they're idiots and they don't really know what they're doing. But I'd like to see something if the new war comes in, where I mean, what are the Grineer? What are the Corpus? And what will the Infested do when the Sentients finally turn up or attack in force? And if the Grineer are still going to be like, oh, I'll hit you because we want that, even though we literally can do nothing to Sentients because we've got these stupid Grakatas and nothing else. It just feels weird that, when you were woken up originally, the first line loads, one of the first lines Lotus says, like, the Grineer threat, that's the problem. Now it's like, oh, just ignore them, they're just silly clone people. So, or maybe once the sentience threat is dealt with, the Grineer can rise again. I don't know, but it just feels that they always get forgotten these days. I mean, come on, we've got Parvos has come back, and like all the Grineer leaders, Parvos as it's this person's put in the original post, Parvos has come back with a near unlimited army of specters. He's now got the sisters, which are ridiculously powerful, in their own way, and the ability to construct warframes, probably, and he's super clever and all this stuff. What have the Grineer got? Oh, well, they've got Sargas Ruck. They've got Tilragor. Doesn't get lines. We've got Captain Vor stuck in the void. We've got Killer de Therm playing on the beach. We've got Bayhek, giant potato man flying in a turkey. Anyone else? The Queen's dead.
yes. We still have War Queen. I think. Yes, I mean, I think she was called like that. I think she tries to maybe to cure, or depending on your choice, to cure or to resurrect her sister. Maybe I think that they won't be at the focus for the long time. But I feel that because Grineer actually are like they had two heads of command, and the biggest got cut by us. And I think maybe Grineer have problems, like they don't have many chains. They have many chains of command, and each of those chains has their own goals of how Grineer should perform. Same with Corpus, but Corpus has some ideology they have, and they are actually paired a little bit more with Orokin, because they are closer to Orokin. And Grineer, I think they became too far away to seem stretched into their problem with cloning. And because they have problems with it, I don't think they can possess any serious threat anymore unless they will get Kuva morphed. And unless they will get something with Elder Queen. It also can be that they could try to find more Orokin, because if Entrati survived, it can be they are not the only ones who survived.
True.
Or they could find more Orokin technology. I think they got plenty of Kuo by now, even with our help. And they may try to resurrect somebody who was at initial command of Grineer. Maybe they could DE could return Tilragor back to the command. I would like it. So Tilragor would come with a new line of clothes, which are much better and not that deteriorating. Because I think when there was if you remember, there was a very fancy trailer of Warframe, which we get in the start when you are a new player. And there were Grineer, which are not that ugly and actually very handsome.
Yeah.
Handsome Squidward.
Yeah, the Orokin Age ones, yeah.
Yes, and so it means that they had the ability to do this on Orokin times. So maybe they will rely on this knowledge and try to find somebody who will help them to do this. Yes, I'm sorry if I talk too much.
No, you go.
But I think they won't pose any big threat to us anymore unless they will find their queen or somebody above them, like it was with Parvos right now. Like
Yes.
Parvos was one of the father's ancestors. So all Corpus know him. All Corpus admire him. So it helps them to unite. And Grenier are all about their small tasks they wanted to do before twins were like beheaded, and right now it's like a whole hot mess. So I mean, it's nature of the they are forgotten. I hope they will return to something interesting about Grenier, because I still feel like Grenier now you are right, underappreciated faction.
What if the Tilregor ends up having help from either son or daughter to improve the cloning process to perfect the corruption of the Grenier and remakes the Orokin style Grenier?
That'd be cool, but I think what listen to that, I was just saying that the corpus are more structured, and I think with Parvos now here, an old, experienced, well-known leader hidden in the void who came back and fixed everything and pushed all the Neff, get away, Neff, get away, get away, I'm in charge now, and go whatever, Alad, we don't care about you anymore. You got Parvos. So what we need is Vor to come back, get rid of the queens, talk to Tilregor and go, look, void energy, good, no care about make better Grenier, no care about purity, fix Grenier, void energy, with this I can fix the Grenier, and then we can have a new Grenier golden age. I want Vor to come back. He would be that character though. He really could come back, get rid of the queens. He can take the Kuva because he might actually know what to do with it rather than just going Kuva. He could actually do something with it, and then we could get the Grenier, right? Because there is, as you were saying about trailers, actually there was. I think it was one of the Xbox launch trailers.
PlayStation 4.
Huh?
It was the PlayStation.
But no, not that. There's one in which corrupted Vor, or Vor is walking through a room and all the Grenier kneel, and he gets to the middle and holds his key up, and it makes a dome over all the Grenier, or it makes a beam up, and they all kneel to it.
Oh, that was.
Yeah. He needs to come back.
I think you're right.
Be the leader.
Yeah,
that needs to happen. Yes.
Yeah,
Loon has fixed it. Loon will fix the Grenier. This is how we do it. Yep.
Right. So I think we should go on to what the replies are saying.
Yeah, we've done enough fixing the game. Let's see how other people would fix the game.
Yeah.
Right. Okay, so these are the replies to the topic on Reddit. So first one. Tenno don't make weapons. They don't research. They are child soldiers and little more. The Tenno don't fight Corpus or Grenier to achieve supremacy. They only fight to keep one faction from overcoming the other. That means that our job is to keep the war going. This, of course, was all orchestrated by Natar, maybe even as part of the invasion plans.
See, I in part disagree with this, because we are we're killing a grain of sand's worth of Corpus and Grenier in the Origins. So all our attacks are more surgical strikes to do the most damage, but there's no way on earth we could just kill them all, right? We'd effectively have to release. The Orokin's response to sentience, let's release the infestation. Who thought this was a good idea? So yeah, I agree. Tenno don't make weapons. They don't do any research. I'd say they're a bit more than child soldiers, but you're not exactly wrong. But yeah, we can't. There's no way on earth we have the firepower to defeat the Grenier or the Corpus. And I don't think this was orchestrated by Natar. I think this was just they've run amok too long. We need to suppress them. By Lotus.
I think it was to keep them in balance so that they'd both be constantly improving through conflict with each other to be ready for when the invasion came.
Balance in the Force.
Yes.
That's actually a very good theory. It also may work with, since Corpus or Grineer are one of the first ones who faces sentience. If they become stronger, they can hold sentience longer, and it gives us more time to prepare. I know it's a little bit despicable, but it's war anyway, and all factions for that. So we should use what we can.
So my understanding, and I could be wrong with this, but my understanding was with the Corpus, they have some like neural suppressant or something going on that allows effectively the board of executives to still control the mass of Corpus around, and so they're kind of doped up and like, oh, this isn't a bad thing. It kind of makes me wonder, like, when the Corpus are right, see this sentient thing here, we want to super glue it to you, right? Like, why, what, how much drugs are the Corpus on to go, yeah, that seems like a good idea?
I don't think they're fully drugged up. I just want to say they're not completely doped out.
It's like their sense of fear.
Maybe, yeah, but that's subtle things. I don't think you could literally tell them to walk off a cliff like mind control levels. I think it proves their, it's like stim up your life kind of feel.
Since Corpus is still a cult, may it be that they are taught to believe into this. I know they're like defectors, but they're defectors among Grineer as well. Maybe the thing is that we just don't have many defectors of Corpus, like Perrin. I think if we will have more defectors among Corpus, it would look natural. But right now, I think Corpus is just that, which will cling onto the Oracle technologies they can find. Like, I remember what Nev was trying to research, and they will. Can it be that sentience actually invaded Corpus, like not only from the Alat side, but from the side of general population? That's why they don't attack the sentience in the same way as Grineer will do, as example.
Potentially.
Because of technology which Corpus possess. Corpus possess very good technology, and because we know that Alad was trying to experiment under Warframes, they know way more than Grineer about it. And if you remember, Ballas was saying that sentients turned their machines against them. It maybe could mean that Corpus is actually under way bigger influence of sentience than Alad V and his experiments.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
That's a really, really good point.
Because Corpus is a lot about machines. So it's actually a way where Orokin lost the war, because they used machines. That's why they needed infestation. That's why they needed warframes. That's why they needed helmet. Because sentients cannot do much with warframes. At least for now.
Yes.
So, and let's put it straight. Sentients can severe connection, probably because it's a technology. But they cannot do much to warframes themselves or us. They cannot reach us. So because it's void and sentients have a problem with void. So I think they can cut the somatic link seeds technology of Oracle, and they probably know it, but they cannot severe warframes or us because it's connected to void. So even if Duviri is not connected to the bonding of warframes and operators, they actually can put something which will let us to connect with our warframes through void in most instances. So sentience won't be able to sever our connection. It won't be just somatic link anymore.
There's only I completely agree with that. However, there's one quest which they did, and then I feel they partly ignore now, which was the Chroma quest, where Chroma is being controlled by something, and it starts talking about things like the womb in the sky and all this other weird stuff, and it was never really clear. I think they might retcon it and say it was controlled by the infested, but it's like it's not quite clear what was going on in that quest.
I thought it was controlled by the corpus.
No.
Oh shit.
At the end, there's a giant infested, which was called something like the Arcane Boiler. And it's like the only thing that's got the arcane in the title, and that never went anything.
Oh, okay.
And it's like only in that quest could you scan it, and it was like, ooh, what does this thing mean? Ooh. But I know, yeah, so there's that. Because that's obviously being controlled. I know the only other control I can think of is that Mesa got controlled by Alad V, but then he had some sort of weird infested necklace, and that was powerful for some stupid reason.
I actually think that because warframes are part of infestation, it's natural that infestation can connect to warframes. And since my headcanon that warframes actually have some kind of will, which is actually suppressed by somatic link, and that's why I think we should have a choice where we let our warframes go free, and they will let us stay with us or not. Infestation can suggest them, you can run free. You don't need this thing. You can go and be with us. We can consume you, but you will be free. You know that.
I've got to say, right?
Yes.
What's going through my head right now
Yes.
is Ash Ketchum and an Excalibur Umbra. Where Ash is like, no, Charizard, you can go now, you can be free, and they like you just replace it with Umbra, and Umbra is just like really confused and sort of like just wanders off,
just chops the head off the nearest Charizard or something. But I like the way you're saying about you choose to warframe stay or go, and I thought it'd be hilarious if you implement that through some sort of algorithm which looks at how often you use that warframe, how often you let it die, and if you've stuck it in helmet, and then that some of your warframes just go by. So your list of warframes they just disappear. It's like, oh, those all left you because you didn't keep them happy. And you're like, oh, my Ember, my Mag, they left me.
I think it also could be like if since people would clearly be pissed if Warframe started leaving us. They could, and they recently removed the loyalty thing from pets. I don't think they will reintroduce the loyalty for Warframes. but Warframes actually could be like. We have. Okay, I forgot how those things spell. We have apparatus which helps us to harvest resources, right? From the planets.
Yeah, the drones.
Yes. And I think warframes with which warframes we situated the most connection, we actually could let them sometimes to go to do something on our behalf. And it would help us to harvest resources as well. Like it's very end game feature. Something like among the rarest resources in the game.
So I have no idea how old you are, Loon, but what this is actually saying to me is Tamagotchi warframes.
Oh, well, I would love to. I always wanted Warframes to be equal to Tenno, so we would fight together.
Mm.
And I would love if Sentience actually will try to sever our connection, and we will try to rebond by this way. I mean, they already tried to do this before. I think they can do this again because operators are actually, without void powers, they're not very powerful. And they will try to sever that connection. We will try to reconnect. And by this way, we will learn to fight together. It will be very nice, especially since I think it was Steve was talking about some Umbra things which will let our Warframes to walk us like Umbra does.
Oh, you're talking about the Echoes of Umbra.
Yes.
Yeah, they were not well received. Like the idea was pitched during a prime time, and nope. Player base don't like this. It's a bad idea. We shouldn't do this. Don't abandon this idea.
Like, the thing is, they were trying to introduce it as like a thing by itself. But if they gently wove it into the helmet system, people wouldn't have minded. But when it became like you'd be doing content, playing missions for hours, literally only to get these temporary things to use up, it was like, no one's going to appreciate that. But if it became just a subtle side thing in helmet for part of this, all these other upgrades and things you're doing, probably would have gone down a lot better.
Oh, yeah, yes.
Maybe if you just feed him enough, and then he'll actually give you one.
Yeah.
That would be actually great. I would love if they would done it as one of the last stage update where Helmet just says, I heard that you need some help. Well, I got some for you. So you can move your frame separately from you now. Enjoy.
Yeah.
Yep.
But in fact, yeah, that's a much better way of doing it. Originally, it was going to be a one item that you'd put into one Warframe and get that Warframe's ability to be independent for 1 week. If instead it was, for the week, if you fed Helminth some food, and it goes, right, now I can use up that food to empower all your Warframes in one go for the week, that would have been a much more efficient way of doing it. And people would have been like, yeah, I like that. But instead it was like, oh no, I can use this one thing in my one Warframe. Right. Better do that again in a week. It's just like, that was just ridiculous. But anyway,
we go through.
Yes, we move on.
Yeah,
next one.
Move on.
Otherwise, we're going to get lost talking for hours. Right, point 2. Another path of advancement is furthering our own void magic. While the Warframes were incredibly powerful during the Old War, as evidenced by the Leverian entry, it's clear that their modern iterations pale in comparison. Due to not being held in stasis, it's only during the current period have Tenno started learning... Oh, sorry, the grammar's very bad. So I assume because we're held in stasis is what's diminished them, right? So it's only during the current period have Tenno started learning new void powers that can directly use themselves without the use of the Warframe acting as a focus. We need to make ourselves better with void magic.
So expand the focus tree.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm curious, Loon, how have you done on the focus tree? Have you maxed everything?
Me?
Yeah.
Oh, no, I didn't max everything. I think my biggest investment was in Xenuric.
Mm-hmm.
I started recently to do ESO Volt farming.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, and my biggest problem that I like that my Warframes are jacks of all trades. That's why I actually have Umbral mods on my Loki, even if he doesn't need them much.
I approve.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah, because I just love Loki that much, and I think my biggest tree is Xenuric, and I think next is let me say, and the next my most open is Naramon.
No.
Yes, then it's Unairo, then Vazarin, then Madurai. But I didn't open any of them completely because I liked to switch between them, especially when they reworked it during Plains of Eidolon. I still need a lot of focus to unbind them. But I hoped that they will rework the system again eventually, because I would like if we could choose more points from different trees and mix them up with new effects. So it will feel more personal.
Yeah. You're not pigeonholed into that is your tree. It does one thing. It's like, well, you can choose. I like this and this in this tree, and maybe just a tad of that, and I can make my own special operator from a mix of things.
Yes, I know that people will cling on meta. It always happens, but I think that because it's a mix of different trees, DE actually can introduce some sort of small corruption between. Like if you mix this and this, then the quality you have has some diminished parameters. Something like if you want, you can have energizing dash, right? But you also want to have stone skin. It's the one which gives armor. You can have both of them as example, but you have either less energy or you have less armor, but you still can have both of them, just a little bit less. So it's like you have all those great characteristics, but you also have diminishing returns. How corrupted mods.
I like it. Yeah. There we go.
And you should be allowed, if the system is introduced, like in the ideal world, I would imagine, you can level up all of your trees points separately. Like you don't need to open them one by one. You just you just choose. Like I want this one. It's very investing, so I will choose this one on the very end, and I will bind them to the other one, and this will feel like more personal. I know it may be like OP or something else, but we are going to fight one of the most powerful nations, races of aliens in the galaxy. So we need a little bit of power.
Yeah, I'm with you. I think there are loads of other games for examples of doing that. At the moment, you click on one tree, and then you see just that tree's tree of abilities, but they could get rid of all of that together, and when you click onto it, you see all of the trees in one go, and then you can just click different nodes. It would just be on one thing. If you ever played Final Fantasy X, they had like the sphere grid where all of it was on one big grid. I think what's the other one? Path of Exile does it that way. It's all on one big grid, and you kind of just choose a start point when you're starting to do it originally. You pick your start point, you work out from there, but eventually you can unlock the whole thing and pick and choose what you want. I think it's possible. That'd be a good upgrade. Should we move on, Xeno?
I know this is maybe it's a bit too complicated. Like, do you know the skill tree of Path of Exile?
Yes.
Yes,
it's all there,
very,
isn't it? Yeah.
Yes, I know it's very huge, but and it has a limited amount of points, but it lets you to build your tree the way you want.
Yeah.
I know that's and we don't need to have such a giant tree. But I think because we can choose exactly which points and where our tree goes, it feels so personal.
Yeah.
That's what I would want on operator tree, because we have those schools. Okay, we had those schools, but most of them are not alive anymore. I think we could to shape our new way to go into them, and it would play into part that operators don't invent anything. Well, operators can invent new schools, and these schools will allow us to do new weapons, maybe to research new warframes, something like this.
Yeah, I think it's good, yeah.
I concur.
Okay, let's move on to the next point. No, I think it was great. Especially I think a lot of people will like the idea of going onto the Path of Exile system, having it on one big grid, and you kind of just pick your start point and then you work out. I think a lot of people like that. But anyway, next point. What we're up to. The Grineer would probs work with the Tenno. So it would probably work with the Tenno, like how they work with the Tenno in infested missions. The Corpus would also help the Tenno to save their own skin. The infested would probably see this as a dinner party. I don't know. They have some intelligence, and they do say, what do they say? Flesh of my flesh, why do you hurt us? To us, they used to say that, the infested used to. So I think they could be coaxed to our side to be like, fight the evil floaty people that float and have big sticks. That could happen.
I feel that the infested are the only ones with the IQ big enough to actually fight the sentients.
Okay.
Yes, I think they actually can fight sentience, but thing is, infested don't have many reasons to fight sentience, so we will need to present them those reasons. And I feel like, again, Helmet role will be expanded, since Helmet is probably the most intelligent species of infested we ever had.
There was what was it called? There was another one that talked, or at least talked through Cephalon.
Oh, Jordis.
Jordis, yeah.
Yes, there was that. So yes. Anyway, next one. I always thought they were going to lose the war, not just because of this, but because they can't think. CY showed us. What's CY?
Psi.
Oh, Psi. Oh, okay.
Cephalon Psi.
Oh, yeah, okay. Cephalon Psi. I thought it was maybe an event that had been acronymed. Okay. Psi showed us that it's possible to destroy capital ships when its reactor melts down. So just initiate the meltdown and destroy the console so engineers cannot reverse it. Then GTFO. Orphix cannot spawn in ships if there are no ships. Same with Grineer galleons. Take out the coolant, reboot the reactor, and boom, it explodes. See, this one's thinking clever. Orphix can't fight no Orphix on no ship if there ain't no ships.
I feel like the big ship was called Murex, right?
Yes.
Yes, I think that Murex is actually just to test the ground. If you remember, in one of the very old trailers, we had a talk of Nata and let's call her Space Grandma.
Yes,
the giant sentient. I think this giant sentient actually will go to our system eventually. And we won't be able to do anything with Murex as we have. And that's why...
It's interesting you say this, because I think it's the last part of the new war
teaser
quest,
fails.
Like teaser, yeah. Actually states that Space Grandma is dead. But
then Natar says, no, Space Mama is not dead. But then Era goes, yeah, you just don't remember, right? Now you be Space Mother! And then chucks her against the machine. So
No, I thought she was saying that Era's also dead. And then she's like, no, you don't remember, right? I'm three.
Yeah, it's all
and
weird.
And then I'll drop Ballas's weird sex leash.
Yeah.
And Ballas has got a weird sex grin. I don't know.
Oh dear. Yeah, I hate that thing so much. Just so long, it's like, right, instead of releasing content, we'll give you these stupid teasers, which don't do anything but confuse you and make you want actual content. And then we won't give you content for years and years and years.
Please, new war.
I feel like probably Space Grandma is not exactly dead. I think Space Grandma is like in consciousness of all other sentients, and and even if her brain is technically dead, I think because she carried them into our system, I think her body is still powerful enough to sustain our attacks, and that's why they will use her body as like extra capital, extra mothership in the end. It's my theory anyway.
Yeah, we'll have to see. Is Mum dead? Is Mum gonna come? Well, Grandmother, then she's gonna come. It's all interesting. Okay, it's soon. 1 more week. Better be good, deep. Better be good. Right, okay, last point. Last point here. Okay, I see where you're going with this. The Corpus alone could solo the Tenno. They are now, game-wise, not lore-wise, the most powerful faction to ever exist. Even more so than the Sentients? Okay, weird. All they would need to do to solo the Tenno is to engineer tech they already have and make it a bit larger. Well, I guess they could build more nullifiers, but a bit weird. Well, I would say the Corpus has had a power boost, but I wouldn't say they're the most powerful. I mean,
No, they are not most powerful. I mean, their nullifiers don't nullify warframes. Their nullifiers just sever some of our abilities. So they're just suppressors, essentially. I mean, nullifiers is a little bit, I think, incorrect term, even if it's how it called in game. Also, I think all our arbiters and all our dojo ships, they're all scattered across the system. So Corpus essentially will need to drop everything and to start just search and to reap for us. It will take a lot of time. And I don't think they want it, since even if Alat is already possessed by sentience, the rest of the Corpus may not want it. So they will probably try to prepare to invasion on their own terms instead of trying to find the Tenno, because they probably know that Tenno will find sentience as well. Corpus may seek ways to exploit it, like we would want to exploit them in that way. So why they would kill us if they can force us to fight the sentience? Then we will get weakened and our numbers will diminish, and then Corpus could get us.
That could definitely happen that way, yeah. I do wonder, I mean, the fact that the one thing that gets me about this is a Parvos thing, is when you go to fight your Spectre, your sister, they spawn Warframe Spectres. I wonder if they're going to do more with that.
What?
Yeah.
Back it up, what?
They spawn Spectres. Don't they? Did I imagine them? Don't they spawn Spectres?
I didn't play, so I have no idea yet.
What, the sisters spawn Warframe Spectres?
Yeah, when you fight them at the end. Vala says, I'm authorizing the defense using Spectres to defend you, sister.
Well, I mean, it kind of makes sense that they could use Warframe Spectres, because it's just like, yeah, well, Parvos Granum invented the Spectre technology, so he probably could just go like, oh yeah, well, you see that door frame you walked through? Yeah, I scanned you, and then I made a Spectre.
I made a Spectre. Rage meter. And find it.
No. I trust you. Because I realize I haven't actually done the sister on the ship yet.
Oh, have you not?
No, not on the ship. Well, we were going to do it together, but then you decided, oh, we're going to play Dauntless instead.
Does sound like me.
It does sound like you. It sounds exactly like, oh, we're playing.
Yep, that's exactly how I sound. I remember that.
You should shoot me out of a torpedo tube.
I think in this footage you can see my railjack things upgrades, and I think I knocked the second one up to 10, and I think I'm at 10, 10, 2, 8, 8 or something. I'm not getting that tube.
Anyway,
right. Well, that is the last reply on the topic. So
right.
I think we should round it off. I think we've covered many ways to improve the Tenno and our fight against the sentients. Yeah?
Yep.
Cool.
And trying to read that. I think that says 38. We'll find out later. Cool. So topic
Before we start topic 2, would anyone like to take a break?
Yes.
Cool. I will pause.
Oh, okay.
There you go.
Right. Topic 2. I'd be more excited about new pets if I didn't know that I'd still end up using the Smeeta 100% of the time. For any type of late game content, be it Kuva, Steel Essence, or Vitamins, I'm not calling it by its real name because I don't respect it.
Vitus Essence.
Huh?
Vitus?
What? I don't know what you're talking about.
Okay.
Vitruvium, Vibranium, anything else? Unobtainium. Yep. Right. Smeeta buff is too good not to use. I preferred if D upped the drop rates / amount altogether and got rid of the resource booster buff. That sounded like it was going to. Okay. That way, one might actually get to bring another pet once in a while. How do we feel about this?
I bring Death Cube.
I think I use Sentinels all the time. I think I used Carrier Prime for for the most time until Kavats were introduced.
What Kavat did you use then?
I like pets so much, so I done all of them.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't care too much about their end game usability because I noticed that people criticized me for using, as example, slower instead of faster,
Mm-hmm.
and they were like very angry if I didn't use any meta weapons, if I would take them into the end game. And I didn't like it a lot. And I was like, do I really want to care about meta this much so I would stress out which weapon or which pet I will take? Unless it will some super specific resource I need. And I thought, no, I don't want to stress out about it too much. I am rank 29. I am high enough. I have a lot of good weapons. I have a lot of resources. If I will need something really, really strongly, I will use Smeeta. But I like to change my pets and sentinels once in a while because I don't like to be stuck on one thing. And I often use things that are not considered meta in different games.
I very much do use the Smeeta Kavat primarily for the reasons provided.
Mm-hmm.
It's interesting because like you have the luck kitty, which is the Smeeta Kavat, and then you have the crit kitty. But the luck kitty actually does the crit kitty's job better.
So for those of us who don't know exactly what they do, why don't you tell us what it is that the Smeeta does that's so amazing?
In terms of combat, I honestly can't remember.
Right.
Because I phased that out of my brain soup so hard that is. But the big thing about the Smeeta Kavat is it just doubles for a period of time. It doubles the resources you get. This was a big thing when it came to Steel Essence. Players would leave the Steel Essence or Steelies lying on the floor and until they triggered a Smeeta Kavat double rate thing, and then would quickly run around the map and pick up all the resources. So instead of getting, say, 10 Steelies, they would get 20.
So,
right? Because
and how would it do the other Kavat's job better?
Again, I honestly can't remember because it's been so long since I swapped.
Oh,
but
sorry, I've got it up now.
Yeah.
So what the Smeeta Kavat does is that it can do stealth, but no one cares about that. It can also give you as a 28% chance every 27 seconds to bestow its owner with good fortune. This can either be 30 seconds of a 200% critical hit chance. Wow, buff. All energy expenditure from the Warframe ability is refunded for 10 seconds. Any pickups collected or affinity seconds are doubled for 2 minutes. Wow. Mm-hmm. Reload instantly once until next reload. Negates damage received from the next incoming hit. Additionally awards 150 overshields. And the last one is the Smeeta creates 1 instance of the current planet's rare resource for its owner. Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
So it just every 27 seconds it'll just do one of these things, which is periodically why sometimes I go like, okay, I don't know if I actually just ran over an argon crystal or if my cat just gave me an argon crystal, right? But I'm pretty sure the crit kitty is on cause equals effect, not a timer. So it's like periodically it will like you do something and then it will give you extra crit chance. But I don't think it's the 200% that the luck kitty can do.
I feel like sorry. I thought that I can talk right now. I'm sorry. What were you saying?
So I was just going to say the other cavat is a Dazara cavat grants 60% increased critical chance for 10 seconds to allies within 25 meters every 20 seconds. So it's got a 50% uptime, but it's only 60% rather than 200%.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
But that's the only thing it does.
Yeah.
Right. So, but like, I'm not going to say that the damage of either a crit kitty or a luck kitty is the most important thing in the universe. I mean, comments, please feel free to argue against me on this one. But I just the chance to get like double resources, just like, yeah, no, that's just super important. So yeah, I use the luck kitty. I use the Smeeta Kavat. Would I change? I'm honestly in agreement with this person. I really feel that they need to just get rid of this perk. Get rid of the double drop chance. Or double resources on pickup or whatever you want to call it. It's just too good for a resource heavy grindathon that is Warframe.
But because they introduced it already, people will be pissed if they would remove it.
Exactly.
So maybe they will. Maybe they could do what they done with Univac, like give all pets small random chance of some resource luck, so they will feel more equal. I mean, it's the same thing which reintroduced other pets for Universal Waku. So give them all small chance, and actually let us have a pool of looks for pets which we can use, and we can use various perks within the breed. But we don't need to choose this exact Kubrao or this exact Sentinel. So, like, it will be just a form we will choose as a skin or something like this, because they don't monetize those things. So I think it will be natural for people to have their preferred look of their pet or of their sentinel, but with some pool of perks they can choose, and to negate their criticism with Univac, they gave Universal Univac. So give Universal small luck to everyone. This way people won't feel as robbed as it will be removed altogether.
Yeah, so the Smeeta is still the best at the job, but other ones can have at least a small version of that. I mean, even in duration, I mean, it being the 2-minute duration double thing, if you gave it the generic one only had 30 seconds, it makes it not as impressive that, not as long lasting, so you've got a smaller window to use it in, but it allows other sentinels and companions to have something similar. Yeah, I can get behind that kind of thing. I'm
trying hard to think about this because I mean I'm conflicted because I feel the best thing to do is rip it out and don't try and accommodate such weird and wacky stuff like Universal Vacuum. but at the same time, I'm in 100% agreement. People will be pissed. Toys will be thrown out of the pram.
Yeah.
And, but it's just like, oh, well, if you make it, I mean, we saw the argument that, the universal vacuum needs to be increased to be similar to the regular vacuum. Why is it only 3 meters and not the full 15? It's not fair. So, I don't know if those topics still exist. I think a lot of them have just died off because people aren't complaining about universal vacuum. Sorry, a certain person isn't complaining about universal vacuum. And I kind of feel like the Band-Aid just needs to get ripped off. But I'm completely with you. I do think that if people lost this, they wouldn't be able to just go, it's gone. It was nice while it lasted. Let's just get on and play. I think realistically, the best thing to do is probably have like an upgrade segment, which is okay, so the Smeeta Kavat is losing this 100% resource crap pickup. What is it? No, it's not drop chance. It's the other one, isn't it?
Well, which one?
Drop booster. I can't remember what the buff it. So you know how the boosters have specific names.
Do you mean the buffs? Drop chance and drop.
Do you see it's? Huh?
No, I think her buff gives you double the resources if it drops.
Yeah,
no?
it's double pickups and affinity. Any pickups collected or affinity earned are doubled.
Yeah, but it's the same effect as another booster, and I just can't remember what the name of the booster is. Anyway, the whole point is, I think if they ditched that one thing from the luck pool, right, it would, be incentive enough to try other stuff. That luck ability that it has is still pretty damn powerful as it is. And if you just move it over to this is a companion upgrade you have to get from Sun, then I think it would go a long, long way. And then you could use it with any companion you wanted. But the post is perfectly right. Everyone's going to use the bloody Smeeta Kavat, right?
Just shows there's a resource booster and a resource drop chance booster. Is that what you're looking for?
It is the resource booster I was thinking of, because that's the double one.
Yeah.
So yeah, but so I make it a module that you have to install. Don't bother making it inherent. Just give it to all of them. Maybe reduce it from 2 minutes to 1 minute. Yeah.
It's interesting you say about ripping the Band-Aid off and removing these things, because I don't know if you know, it's in one of the memes, but I thought I'd bring it up now because it's relevant. Cool. Did you know that they actually nerfed the Helios weapon, and people are very annoyed about this?
No, I didn't.
So what you would do, because that's Deconstructor is the weapon where it throws parts of itself at the enemy.
Yeah, it's the melee one.
Yeah, and you could put the Gladiator set mods on there, but then the set mod, a buff of having multiple mods, which was like plus 30% crit, where you get it to that, would affect the Warframe, and then but only certain bits of the Warframe, and you could use it on Wukong to get a better crit chance on his big stick. And people are annoyed because they've removed that, because it was so there's a whole list of mods you can no longer use on that because they didn't want to affect the new the doggos, the robo doggos that you're getting. The hounds. They didn't want to affect that, and they thought, okay, well let's also knock that off as well. So people went not mad, but some people were very annoyed that that's been removed, even though it was never intended, and it's just a sort of a side thing. Like the mods themselves affect only the Deconstructor, but the set bonus was outwardly applying to parts of the Warframe. People are annoyed they've now removed that.
I'm sorry, like QQ. Like, I need that.
Yeah, just an example as for removing things.
Hold on. These are the people that are using exploits like this that want to have the bloody galvanized mods on sodding arbitrations.
I don't know. I doubt they're the same people. I don't have the data for that, Xeno.
Sweeping statement, same people. There you go.
Let me just get out this big brush here and just lap it on everyone. Tar everyone with this big brush.
Loon, for your benefit, I actually really like the idea of doing Steel Path to get the galvanized mods. Now that they've put them in arbitrations, it was like, yay! Let's do the really limiting, boring shit in order to get the stuff to do the good shit. Because I totally have a reason to do the good shit anymore.
Right. So Xeno not happy. Okay. Right. So we've I think we all agree that that if you're going to do it, either rip it out completely or come up with a mod that gives a minimal thing. So Xeno, as you're the only one who actually uses the Smeatica out of the three of us. If the sort of like lower version mod would be added to the game, would that encourage you to use other companions?
So wait, would I still have the...
Smeatica would still be the best, but other companions could give you
no.
So you would what? Still use Smeatica?
Still use Smeatica, yeah.
Right, okay, interesting.
It's honestly, it's just too good. Like, you are doubling the drops, right? So you've gone from... If you've got...
No, you'd still double the drops, but like instead of it being a 2-minute buff, it would be a 30-second buff.
Yeah, no, I still use the bloody Smeatica back.
Yeah.
Because you gotta think about this, because like a lot of the resources you can't pick up as... Shit, I just realised what you're doing. Think, Loz! Think! Sorry. Anyway, no. You got to think about this, that you can't readily control what resources you pick up, apart from the Ayatan stars, Ayatan statues, and I think that might be it.
Granum crowns.
Granum crowns. That was the other one. Thank you. But the steel essence and the vitamins are both affected by the double drop chance. You know where the vitamins and steelies are because they are lit up on the map and everything. They're lit up in the environment, so you can see exactly where they are.
Mm-hmm.
So that's easy to like. Oh yeah, I can, do that and I can grab. Wait for the 30-second chance to pick up everything. Oh wait, no, the 30-second chance is already run. If it's a 2-minute one, 2-minute is so much easier to run around the map and grab everything compared to 30 seconds. You're 4 times the duration. 30 seconds, in my opinion, is not enough. It needs to be like universally the same for everything. Otherwise, I genuinely think people would stick with the Smeatica VAT.
I think. I mean, it's not a solution for Vitus Essence or Steel Path Essence, since it's like a super endgame material. But I still think that if people would be able to exchange some of the materials in certain rate, it would make the grind of resources easier, and this way Smeatica wouldn't be that needed in general farming. So, like, to watch at the problem from another angle. The angle is there are too many resources, and those resources are not interchangeable. They stay true only to their respective location most of the time, and they just they don't mix. So people have to refarm it again and again, and that's why I suggested before some exchange rates. Because it would help people to, especially people who just return to game, or new people, to accommodate to the pace. If it makes sense.
Yeah. I think an exchange system would be good. I was thinking if they let it automatically level itself. So let's say everyone was always, I'm just going to use the basic resources, and let's say everyone was trying to get their hands on neurosensors. Or neuron. The gallium. Everyone wanted to get gallium, right? And and everyone kept exchanging for it. The more people exchanged, the more the next person had to exchange. So it would make that, it would balance on based on what people are exchanging. So if everyone wants one thing, that becomes rarer and you have to trade more for it. And that way they could make it quite bad. And if everyone is farming, like, because they find a good spot to farm gallium, everyone's getting loads of gallium and they're always trading it for this, then that just becomes further and further apart. So I think it could work.
So just so everyone knows that this is slightly in reference to a conversation had while we were paused. I do like the whole idea of the resource exchange thing. To elaborate slightly, this was Loon's idea where you take resources from one open world and you could exchange them in another open world. I don't know if the original idea was to have this community-driven side to it.
No, I just added that just now.
I'm not overly fond of that for one simple reason. If you go out, you farm gallium, and then you get back and gallium's worth crap all, and you need to get neurodes.
Right, but you've still got your gallium. You could just save it and wait, and then the next week there might be more in your favor for gallium.
I think I'm kind of on board with what you're saying, but I think it should be like, it's not live. It only changes like once every 6 hours.
Oh yeah, totally.
Yeah. So that's the important part. So like you can actually know ahead of time, like, oh, it's going to change in 30 minutes.
Better finish this mission. Want to do it right now. My exchanges because it might change tomorrow. Yeah, exactly. I'd say once a day.
I actually didn't mean it in a way that between players trading it, because I know that human economy is a huge catastrophe sometimes. We tried to fix it and it's still a problem. I just mean that DE would control the exchange.
And that's what we're saying, because I agree with you completely. Players, you cannot let players control it because they would just make a mess. It would be an automated system where you're trading to a vendor and then the numbers adjust. It would be an NPC, it wouldn't be players.
Mm-hmm.
You just imagine like if there was the exchange rate Illuminati where like thousands of players, millions of players, whatever, you pick a number, but like the point is like, right, so for this hour on this day, this is the only resource we're going to exchange, and we're going to crash it, and then the next hour we're going to move on to this next thing, right? And then
Wall Street stonks, but Warframe.
Yeah.
But the thing is, though, they could do that, right? But if it's always let's just say the best exchange you could get would be you exchange 2 for 1, and that'd be very hard to achieve. You're always expending more for less. And if it's more towards the region of like 5 to 10 to 1, they could do that if they want to do some ridiculous things, right? But they're always deleting things from the game by doing it. The actual amounts are going down. So they could do it for like a couple of months if they want, then they'd be like, right, let's do it again. We haven't got anything left.
We need to tax our player base 100%. I mean, what?
We still have a lot of resources which are just in our inventories. They just stay there. So it could go further. Like you exchange probably like spores, very cheap resource you can find anywhere, for something more expensive, like plastids. And plastids you can exchange into something even more complicated with a diminishing rate than rare it is. So this way you can sink your super cheap resources into rare resources. But you lose something, of course, because you don't farm it. You just take your cheap resources.
I think it'd be good.
Do we get to the replies?
Right, okay. Yes, back to Gavat. Okay, so first one. Sentinels are garbage anyways. As for the other pets, it's mostly survivability greater than anything else. So, just slightly nerf the survivability for Smeeta and heavily buff every other pet, so there's actually a reason to use them. Removing this, use them. There should be full stop. Removing Smeeta buff will just mean the meta will shift to using the pet that dies the least.
Not wrong. You're not wrong.
But wouldn't that be the
but I feel that this, like, see, the argument here of buff everything just adds more chaos to the experiment, right? So we want to, we're doing an experiment here. We're trying to find out what is working. So we need to change 500 variables. No, you change one. Not 5. Just not a scientific method. But I feel, though this person has a pretty solid idea with reduce the survivability of the Smeeta, all that will do is nothing because people will only 5 and out anyway.
Fair. Moving on.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, next one is, when Smeeta pops up in those silly graph presentations in a dev stream as the most used companion a few months from now, instead of doing something about the other companions, DE just going to nerf Smeeta and everything becomes mediocre.
Yeah, but you have to start from a level playing ground. I literally just said this.
Hey, we didn't know. How did they know their comment was going to come after your comment? Don't blame the commenter.
No, you're right, but still, they're just going to say the same
How dare
thing,
this commenter not have their comment in a different position so that Tobiah didn't
Read
put them
my
as the second
in the future.
Okay.
I can see the future.
The next one.
Xeno's going to complain.
Sometimes I wish charm wasn't a thing. It not only forces us to use a single companion, but it can also be very infuriating to use sometimes. I'm not saying it should be removed. I'm saying I wish it was never in the game, or was perhaps made universal for all companions.
Oh, I mean, the universal is really the good thing, because I mean, Warframe always was about choices. We are given a lot of choices, and with helmet system, we can implant in our abilities of Warframe. Why we cannot do the same with pets? Like, as example, you have your infested dog, and now you can implant charm on it, but something like this. Like, I mean,
That's
our
a really solid idea.
However, can you do it with sentinels?
Yeah, you should be able to do it with sentinels.
So your Smeeta can be like sneaking along and then just opens its mouth and fires a death beam going, Dee!
Actually, imagine sentinel weapons. On pets, like they have it as a small turrets.
Okay.
That'd be so cool.
Okay. Wait. Right. The Helminth. What was the name of the weapon?
Destructor. Destructor. Yeah. Deconstructor.
Right, okay.
Yeah.
The Helminth Deconstructor. Not Helminth. Fuck, what's it called?
Deconstructor Prime?
No, it's the Deconstructor. What's the bloody
Helios.
Sentinel called? Helios. Right, the Helios Deconstructor, right? But on a Kavat. The limbs just like deconstruct and fly off.
That's
like
no, that's the weapon. What you'd get for the Helios is that your Kavat walks around and just stares at things and then scans them for you. Oh dearie me! Just put some goggles on it. Give him some scanning goggles. Oh dear. Right. So I can't get past the death beam one. Right. The last one is. They can go full modular with the pets and make their abilities into universal mods. So you can, for example, get the Smeeta buffs when using a Kubro, making the pets only an aesthetic choice, which is what we basically just said. Just stick it, get him in the helmet, and you shove him in.
Like I really like the idea of having like the whole genetic imprints and things like this, but it didn't pan out the way that it was advertised initially years and years ago, right? Not going to hold that against them because it is what it is right now, but you know, I just feel like, I mean, this is what I mean. People just keep on saying like, oh, you know, just make everything universal and make it all just aesthetic. It's like, no, there's still no choice then, because everyone's going to have a fucking cookie cutter build, right? Everyone's going to use the exact same thing. You need to put choice in there, right? So, like, oh god, how do I This is why I just argue, just rip it out entirely, and then like, yeah, right. Where's your universal shit now? Oh wait, what's that? You actually have to make a choice.
So you're with the person who says, "I'm saying I wish it was never in the game."
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. I could totally see what Loon said, what everyone in the comments have said. Make it universal so people don't complain. But then it continues to gut the situation, because then people are just gonna, right, I'll just move on to this most, like this person, sorry, the first person says, make the Smita less survivable and everything else gets a huge buff. Well, if you just make the buff universal, well then they're just gonna move on to the next best thing, right? So we got the universal buff. Death Cube is better. Let's use Death Cube. Everyone starts using Death Cube instead of Smita Kavat. Problem's still there.
I think the theory is... Oh, no, sorry, you go, Loon. You go, yeah.
I think it's the serious problem we have. Like, in almost every game in Warframe is no exclusion right now, but I think it was the last previous years. People cling on meta too much. Like, they think that they must do this, like, the maximum efficient way. And the maximum efficient way is not the funniest way, but they think they must do it the fastest, the first, to get there. And I think I don't agree that we should rip out charm, but I certainly understand why you want to rip it out, because people still cling to the meta, and the meta goes farm better, farm faster, farm stronger.
Sorry to interrupt. My understanding is charm is like the whole ability. I am literally just talking about the resource side to charm. Right?
Oh, you think that's the only reason people use it?
Yeah, 100%. That is the only reason people use the Smita Kavat, is because I didn't even know it did half the other shit you spoke about.
Oh,
right?
Okay.
I was like, double resources. Enough said.
Huh. What about a Sentinel that when you pick up any resource, it has a % chance to double it? So it's always up.
Depends on the percentage.
Actually, can it be like that all pets and sentinels have like several degrees of resource chance? Like, as example, some sentinels have an ability to drop more resources. Smita will keep a little bit diminished charm. And probably, as example, infested dogs and foxes, wolves, how it calls? I'm not sure. they have like an ability to reproduce certain resources, probably infested resources.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, as example, Helios is a corpus weapon, right? And it will reproduce corpus resources.
Oh, I see.
Yes, and infested one reproduce infested resources. And they can have different ways to double your resources. It can be double chance. It can be double the amount which can drop. And it can be you said you wanted more choice. So if we want to force that choice, but do not make it that people will feel too. But we don't want people to be too pissed for removing the charm. But we want them to do the choice. I think the choice will be that different pens serve different needs, just like Warframes. If we are not going all the universal way. So they have resources. Each class of sentinels to pets has different resources to drop, and different ways to drop the double chance or the drop chance, all this. So this way we will have all different categories. I know some will be the best, but Smita no longer will be the best. There will be. Yeah.
I think you've actually inadvertently highlighted the problem. It's how do you balance this? Because you've come up with some really solid ideas, like the whole idea of the Helios giving you better chance at rare corpus resources. Sorry, I can't remember verbatim what you said, but I think the downside here is trying to come up with a benefit for everything, right? How many companions are in the game, and they always want to add in more. We have a crap ton of mowers. We now have hounds. We have kubros, kavats, one helminth, and a bunch of sentinels. It's like
you forgot the vampiric kitty, the ones from Demos.
The infested ones, yeah, that's a fair point. I did completely forget about the infested ones. So there's so many companions, and it does become a huge. It becomes the same problem as Trinity is the best healer, or in the game. How can we even make Oberon or Equinox or any of the other healers come anything close to Trinity? We have to nerf Trinity, and I feel that this is something very similar because this double resource buff is just so powerful. We need to realistically knock it down a peg, because otherwise coming up with other stuff that is I thought of stuff like, well, what if we have a Kubro one which is like it specifically hunts for the rare resource in the environment. It will just periodically stop and then just dig it up, right? Then
I think we have something like this, not? We have some Coral like this.
Actually, that's the Kavat.
I think it's Chesa Kubrao. I think they dig resources. I think I'm not sure about the name.
No. The Smita Kavat has a chance to just give you a rare resource from the environment.
Yeah, I think one of the Kubros has a similar thing.
I don't think it's a rare resource. I think it's just any resource.
Oh.
I mean, we can change it into the rare resource, and I think I am on board with you with nerf it a little bit, like not 200%, like make it 50%, but add different ways on all sentence. So it's like it's not the big thing. It's a nice little gimmick which you can use it, which will help you a little bit. But your main resource farm will be certain warframes, and there are several warframes which help you to farm, like Hydroid, Necros, I think, and Cora. So they all are like farm frames, and you use them as the main strategy of farming. Like you stack them, you go all in the team, you do this, and your pets are not the big farming thing. They are just a little gimmick which helps you a little bit, but it's not the must, because people feel that right now they are obliged to do this. So if it will be not ripped out, but nerfed and redistributed between pets and sentinels, it won't be as super important as people make it to be.
I think time will. Time's the only thing that's going to tell. Time. We'll see. I mean, Pets 2.0.
Pets 2.0.
If that ever, can you just imagine if that's the big reveal of TennoCon? Pets 2.0. Completely subverted expectations. Sheldon for the win.
We thought you wanted new content, but no, we're giving you pet toys.
I mean, fixing old content is a thing I always welcome personally.
Right. Well, on that note, I think Xeno has defended the value that the Smita, you have to either get rid of it or nothing will change. So I think we should move on. I think we're going to beat him on that.
Okay.
He has beaten us, I think. Right.
Winning.
So I think we're moving on now the topics are done, to the graphs from last week.
Yep.
So we'll move on to the first graph while I talk in a little bit longer, giving Xeno a few seconds to write down some numbers. There's the first graph, which is on what is mastery rank of your Warframe account. Ready, Xeno?
Yep.
Cool.
So I'm only going to highlight the
Wow.
three top numbers. So 13% said 29, MR29.
Yep.
17% said MR27. And 52% said MR30. So
52% of our audience that responded said they were mastering at 30.
Yeah, that was a bit lacking. We're slacking.
We are
We're big
slackers.
slackers.
We are slackers.
We're the biggest slackers. We need to get to MR30.
Did you say
I'm
you're
still not doing K drives?
Did you say you're 29, Lou?
Yes, I'm 29.
Ah, so you're with us with the slackers.
Are you 29?
What?
What? Me?
You,
no, I'm like 26 or 27.
Okay.
I think. Probably on the screen. Okay. Right, so second graph?
Fast. Being covered up by a graph. Anyway, yeah, so the next graph is how do you rate your understanding of Warframe? So this I can't remember the exact topic. Remember there was a dig at content creators, which I completely acknowledge and agree with. But there was like, how well do you know like the damage system of Warframe? Like, the crazy crap thing that Loz was talking about earlier with Wukong, the Helios
deconstructor,
yeah, like shit like that. I'm like, fucking hell, that to me is a 5, right?
Yeah, people,
knowing crap like that, right? I say I'm a 3.
3, yeah,
right, yep, 3. Where do you land? Where would you rate yourself, Loon?
I think I would land here myself on 3 as well. Mostly because like I know core mechanics. I have a lot of weapons I like, but I don't use meta weapons, and I actually don't know most of the meta weapons, and I don't feel like I need to know all the best quote unquote legal exploits of how to make my end game super mega end game better. So I don't dig that hard. I think if I would go into the lore, I would rate it 5. But during the game knowledge, I think it's 3. Like I know all the basics, I can cover them, I can talk about them, but something like super specific for this content, like no, I am not that good.
What do you mean you don't know that you have this particular this particular kit gun with this particular arcane with this particular mod set with 2 of these from this mod set and this mod set on this Warframe with this Kavat with a friend of this thing does a bajillion damage? Everyone knows that.
You already lost me.
I know, I lost myself.
Okay, so 17% said 3, 22% said 5, and 61% said 4. So, yeah, fair enough. The next one, because again, the dig at the content creators, does Xeno and Loz ever give the impression that they know exactly how to play Warframe? Right? 4% said Loz does. I'm sorry. Don't pick on my Loz. I think you're not allowed to pick on my Loz.
I think this is one person's simping for Loz.
Right. 4% says Xeno does. Yeah, I'm an ass. 17% said yes, they both do, and 74% said nope, they're fairly level-headed.
Hey.
So, honestly, we don't know what the fuck we're doing.
We just mumble.
We have like high-level theories and shit, and that's about it. Right. Next. Do you shit? Do you sword/gun alone, not while leveling? Right? So 9% said yes, gun only, primary or secondary. 9% said yes, sword only. And 83% said no, I take all one of everything. I think that should be just I take one of everything. Yeah. Though I'm not quite sure how math work in this because that doesn't add up.
It's 101%. It's fine. It rounds up.
So before we move on, Loon, do you you use sword alone, gun alone, or do you take at least one weapon of everything?
I take at least one of everything, but when I do melee, I often, unless it's arbitrations or something else, I prefer to use some like outcasts, like daggers.
Yeah.
Yes, daggers, tonfas, all this.
Yep.
Like Fang Prime is one of my most favorite weapons. I think it's still not my top one because I used to do a lot of top content, so it's in my statistics that I think Paracelsus is higher and all that. If I would be able to use some weapons for my hard content, I would like to use daggers and tonfas and glyphos. Yeah, those ones.
I'm pretty sure the Boltor Prime is still my most used gun. And it's like, I haven't touched the thing in years. Right. Next one is, should DE remove sword/gun alone? Right. So we have 17% said yes and 83% said no.
I thought we agreed it's not that removing it, it's that it shouldn't be... Content shouldn't be designed with it in mind.
No, yeah, but I wanted to know whether or not people
that
was there a correlation? And unfortunately, there wasn't actually a direct link. The majority of people that said no, they don't use it, still want it in the game, which is very interesting. And then for Loz's benefit, on memes 12 is the sixth graph. Yeah, we need to sort that out. Could you actually turn off the topics? Could you turn off the graphs? Yeah. Turn off the graphs.
Yeah, graphs off. Topics
right, turn off the topics.
Off.
Sorry, I just realized that was still on. And then the last one, which of these best applies to you? 22% said, I will take the equipment that offers the best results. And 78% said, I take the equipment I enjoy playing, knowing it's not the best. Actually, at the start of the week, when I first checked these, it was completely the other way around. Like the percentages, because not enough people had actually voted at that point, the percentages were like completely flipped. And I was like, really? I didn't think we had I didn't think that we had a following that like that. Yeah. But, and correct me if I'm wrong, Loon, I believe you said that you prefer to use the weapons you enjoy.
Yes, I use the weapons I enjoy. Like, if it's like, I already repeat myself, but it's super mega giga end game, like arbitrations and all that. I use weapons which will help me survive. But everything under 100, I use what's my hard content.
Cool.
I mean, you have so much choice. Why diminish yourself?
Yep. Right, so that's... And I'm pretty sure, Loz, you use what you enjoy.
Yep.
Mr. Optical.
Right, that's it for graphs, I think.
Yep, right, so...
Supporter questions. So as Rugal says, before we start the supporter questions, I want to ask our lovely audience to hit that like button. It helps out a lot. Also, it would be greatly appreciated if you comment down below. I promise we read each and every comment, which we do. Before we start the next episode, I read every comment. I don't always reply, and I don't get them into the following episode, but each one is definitely read.
I was kind of expecting Rugal to throw me under the bus then and actually announce that I forgot to actually put these questions together before, like 15 minutes before we were due to start recording. I completely forgot. And he turned to me and said, like, supporter questions? Like, oh shit, yeah.
Yeah.
It was a manic week.
Zrugal says, question for Loz, would you consider exploring the featured dojos for Tenno Clock footage? That sounds like a lovely idea. Zrugal, I will probably do it for next week, seeing as next week is episode 400. Sounds like some lovely stuff. Go explore some featured dojos. Big Beard Bear 93. Would you prefer to fight off both the liches and sisters, or keep it to where you can only fight off one at a time?
I want both.
I want both.
I would like to fight both as well. It actually will be fun if they will fight each other sometimes.
Yeah. Put the war back in Warframe.
Yeah.
And the
like,
follow-up... Oh,
no, you could actually turn up and they're fighting each other, and then they both gang up on you.
Well, it's random what happens. Yeah, that'd be kind of cool. Okay, Big Beard Bear 93 also says, which Tenant weapon are you looking to get first if you haven't already started?
The Kuva Grattler.
That's not
the Kuva Grattler.
Loon.
The Kuva Grattler.
Actually, it's a tricky question for me because I'm not sure I remember the whole list of new weapons. Yeah. Can you remind me if it's possible?
Oh, there's loads. You got the...
Hold on. Don't guess it. Gotta get it right, Loz. Gotta get it right. Okay, so we got the Tetra, the Flux Rifle, the Archiplasmor, the Cycron, the Detron, the Envoy. What the hell's the Envoy?
So no, those, I think you just listed the old ones. That now, if you're on the right these are the new ones that turn into briefcases. So it's
no, these are the Tenant weapons.
Yeah,
they're all Tenant weapons.
No, yeah, they are. But the first ones you list on the list, because I've got the same list up. The first 5 are existing weapons that are now Tenant versions. The next 3 are new for sisters, and these are ones that turn to briefcases. Well, 2 of them do actually, because I've got the Spirex. It doesn't. The Envoy is a rifle that turns. That was the one that turned to a briefcase. Then there's the DatLoon, which are like 2 pistols. They start as like a little hand thing. You know.
Yeah.
And the Spirex. And then do you want to do the melees?
No, because they are part of Ergo Glass. I don't think they should count.
There's also, I swear there's the Ambassador, which is one you get from Railjack. Not listed here.
So yeah. Well, I'm going to assume that you're not going to pick up on the first, the new 3, because you haven't got a clue what they're like. But so you got the Tetra, the Flux Rifle, Archiplasmor, Cycron, and Detron.
I used Archiplasmor a lot, so I actually would like to farm upgraded version. I know it was nerfed a lot, but I really liked it. It felt like a reliable, sturdy weapon. I used a lot.
Just so you know, it has longer range before damage fall off occurs, and shots ricochet off surfaces.
This is amazing.
Yep.
About completely new weapons, I don't know the name yet. As I said, I didn't dig into the update.
Yep.
Yet Corpus Cipher. That was I liked a lot. I wanted
the scythe.
Yes.
Right. That's one of the Ergo Glass ones.
Grigori.
So... Yep.
I'm still a little bit baffled why they called it by a Russian name.
I have no idea.
Yeah, it's so weird. Sometimes the DE just says, "Oh no, we're gonna have our silly names that don't make any sense," and other times like, "No, we'll use existing names." So ridiculous.
Yeah, genders. Sorry.
Thalian says, with the recent changes to the Parazon, namely how finishers now pop up regularly on specific enemies, have you noticed the difference? Oh, I haven't actually. I haven't noticed that.
Actually, I have.
Oh, yeah.
Every single time I have used a Parazon finisher, the thralls instantly die. It's incredible. I'm so impressed.
Wow.
No,
Okay.
Loz, it's a joke.
Oh, sorry. I was
Thralls only die because of the Parazon.
Oh, right. So you haven't. Ureli is now in the game. But regardless of your opinions on her idle animation, she is a very good example of DE releasing a new frame underpowered and then beginning to buff them after release. Do you think that this is a better method than the previous releases where they've been a bit overtuned and then nerfed back down?
Yes, it's absolutely better way. People feel better when the things they like is buffed and instead of nerfed. That's why I think making everything a little bit too weak so they could adjust it back later is a better way to do this.
Mm-hmm.
Even if it's some sort of self lie, it helps people to go through the changes because it's changes which make their choice stronger, and they accept it even if something something gets nerfed. People try to focus on the buff if they can. I mean, most of them. I know we all have people who focus on the negatives, but most of the time, people still try to see something positive. And buffing weak frame I think it's still the best course of doing.
I agree. Loon summarized it so well.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, yeah, you give people more things, they only get more excited. If you take things away, they get yelling and shouty and stabby.
Well, I mean, look at the instance of, they're balancing the melee mods, but they're giving all these buffs and all these other. No. They focus exclusively on the melee mods. I'm like, but look at all these cool new additions. No, you're taking away my thing. I don't like you taking away my thing.
Right, that's it from those. Yep. Now, quickly, we'll go through a few of the replies from last week. So, Technic Czar, I have found a Mastery Rank 6 on Steel Path. It's gross how most people only care about cheesing all nodes and then complain because they don't enjoy missions. You won't enjoy the game if you always go for the cheese strategies. Also, Steel Path should be locked behind Mastery Rank 20, in my opinion.
No. But I do like everything else that he's saying. They are saying, if you're going to cheese it, then what's the fucking point? I think you and DatLoon did was it the void turret. There was a technique which was basically you go down one of these tiny little corridors, attract all the mobs to the corridor, put a Vow band down there, and another ability, and I think was it like Excalibur Umbra or something, and everything just gets slaughtered, and you resource farm like there's no tomorrow that way.
Wow.
Yeah, we did it once, and we really hated it because we were bored out of our skull.
Oh,
and
yeah.
We never did it again.
Yeah, that sounds... I can imagine being bored out of my skull, yeah. Nico Mula, I won the Plat key on Switch. Thanks for that, but how can I claim it, may I ask? If I ask. Just let people know, how do they get their platinum when they win?
Sorry, on PlayStation?
No, on Switch. They won the platinum on the Switch. They were happy for that. They just want to know.
Reply?
Oh, no. I think you're just going to say that you submit the things to DE and then it will be put straight into your account given a small amount of time. Yeah?
Yeah, they should have already had it.
Oh, probably. Well, this remember, I think you did it just after we recorded last week because you made a note, and then this reply might have been on like the Monday. So...
Right, if it was on the Monday, that all they had to do was wait. So yeah, you have to wait till the Tuesday for it to come out.
There you go. Right, Nick Evans is going to have a dig at you, Pusino. Old man Xeno not remembering that slide attacks were nerfed in Melee 3.0, so that now they don't do more damage. Also from Nick Evans, I'm not talking out my butt.
I'm sorry. Sorry. Oh. Do I sound like someone that cares about Melee?
Well, also,
no.
Nick Evans also says to you, Xeno, I'm not talking out of my butt. You got the Seeding Step Ephemera with me only a week after it came out. The one a week ago was the fluke.
No, because it was new in my inventory. It wouldn't have had the new thing on it if I had it before. You're talking out your butt.
Bones the Wonderful. Tungsten Trial sounds better.
Yes! Okay, Loon, hear me out, right?
What?
Okay, right. Steel Path, right? Steel Path. Steel is quite a hard metal. But what's harder than steel, right? Tungsten, right? Tungsten, one of the densest metals around. Look it up. Go on Google and do a search for hammer versus tungsten ring. Right? You'll find out the ring wins. Yeah? Bit of a spoiler. Also, the desk gets damaged, but we'll, ignore that part. Tungsten Path. So they make a harder version of Steel Path called Tungsten Path. Tungsten Path. Tungsten Path. So
He really likes tungsten. Right. What else we got here?
yeah, I'm getting enabled. I'm down with this.
Gus L. We do enjoy the game. 7-year player, but we have to form other weapons because builds are totally restrictive. I play Steel Path solo. I can do any content in the game, but I love Sybaris or Dread. We were saying about which weapons you use, and you just can't kill with those weapons with that level of armor. So there we use melee. I love your content. I agree on many things, but I think you're being unfair on that topic. So yeah, always like the people being critical of us. We always take it in our stride.
What was this? What was the context?
It's to do with the melee and the weapons and Steel Path, and do you take weapons for fun or do you take them for
What was their name?
Gus L.
Gus L. Send me your builds for your Dread and the other weapon you said that I've not Dread. And I'd love to give them a go on Steel Path. I want to get your experience. I want to feel what you're feeling to give me a better perspective.
Okay, Peter Graver. This week's final poll question needed a third answer. Which would have been? Do you make builds you enjoy and are efficient at missions? I find that to be part of the fun of the game. Build gear frames that you enjoy to be effective at whatever you want to use them in. The helmet system especially makes this more fun and easier. Okay.
So this to me is not the problem with the best of both answers is that then everyone's just going to pick that. Like, should you get an Argon crystal or a Vitus essence? And if one, Argon crystal, Vitus essence, both, everyone's just going to go for both. But it's dependent on if you're saying that you take the best possible meta stuff and you enjoy using it, the answer you go for is still the best possible meta stuff, right? The whole point of the other option is you're not going with the best possible stuff, but you enjoy taking it. It's sort of putting a positive spin on the response. Another alternative is I could put, you're not taking the best possible stuff and you hate what you're taking, right? It's where you draw a line. But having a both option is never a good idea for polls. Okay. Sorry.
JJ24, so last two. My personal example is Titania in capture missions. I feel terrible playing other Warframes in capture missions. I can complete a capture mission in 40 seconds with Titania, but take 80 seconds with other Warframes. I feel pressured to play Titania for this game mode to avoid this negative emotion.
Is this in response to the what do you take?
Yes. So they feel like they're pressured by the game to use that rather than if they want to use. So yeah.
Really, that's interesting.
Yep, and then, because it's a Nintendo Switch player who actually said this, I thought it's a bit of a long one here, but it's Tucker Winslow. I wanted to share my perspective on the new updates since I know neither of you are big on liches, lol. Actually, I'm liking the new sisters. Okay.
Okay.
But first I have to talk about the Wave Rider quest. As a Nintendo Switch player, the K-Drive quest was super difficult and annoying, and it took me 4 hours to complete in total. The mechanics of doing tricks with joysticks is insanely hard, but hey, hours of rage later, I got it done. I generally like the new sister system, as murmurs are easy to farm and the whole process is expedited. I particularly like the ability to repeat a sister-controlled nodes. I ran a capture mission 3 times in a row to quickly annoy her enough to spawn. But while the sisters fights aren't difficult, they are simply very, very annoying. I only ever got my shield broken when wailing at the sister, but it took me 3 minutes of spamming the attack button to chip away at her shield and health enough to stab and vanquish her. There's also complaining about teleporting one. I think there was one last point. Yes. I'm almost more put off from how long it took to fight the sister with a short murmur time than I would be if I had to do another hour of murmurs, but with a quicker sister fight. I got the Tenno DatLoon, a briefcase weapon. Briefcase, because they only take that... briefcase, because they only take that form during their ultra-long reload animation. Which one's that? DatLoon. Oh, it's the 2 pistols, right? There you go. So that's interesting. See about the Switch player finds it very hard to do the K-Drive stuff. I wonder if that's for more people as well. Maybe it's the Joy-Cons or.
I will also just say the K-Drive on keyboard and mouse is no picnic either. It wasn't until Nazareth completely and utterly destroyed my 15-minute attempt at getting 1,000 K-Drive points in 10 seconds did I go, what crazy strat are you using? Oh, you put jump on the
mouse wheel.
The mouse wheel. Okay, well, I'm going to do that now. So, yeah. And I imagine you can't do key binding, change the bindings for controllers, so...
Probably not as easily.
But, yeah, honestly, I was not a fan of getting me to do K-Drive stuff. Like, do you like K-Drives, Loon?
I felt pretty indifferent to it. I tried a few challenges. It's I felt like it's nice. It's a nice gimmick, but it's not something I will do a lot in my spare time. I actually still need, like, I leveled up a lot of things in game. I still need to level up my first K-Drive. It says a lot.
Nah. What you should do is ignore it entirely. I hate K-Drives.
I feel like if it will be much easier to level up. Like, as example, if you done available challenges on certain open world, you leveled up your K-Drive, so it will be more arcade instead of grinding, trying to do the same trick every 10 seconds. Like, put a little bit more challenges from on Deimos, on Orb Valleys, and completing these challenges gives you like 5 levels.
Really?
Yes, it will make it fast.
It will make it
more. Yeah, it will make it more arcade. It will make it like funnier, because right now it's too slow.
Yeah,
and people cannot speed up this process.
No, I think you're right. It's sort of, they've put it in, but they haven't finished it to the point that it become a fun experience. They've just put the bare bones in, and it takes forever to do it that way. Yeah,
and you have Arcwing.
yes,
which is faster anyway.
I want like K-Drive races to have like seasonal rankings, and then they can put different tracks each 3-4 months. They swap out which ones they're using, and then you have a little trophy at the end of 3 months if you do it the best or fastest. And that's the kind of thing it needs, because people will try their best to get their best score on it, but at the moment it's just.
I'm pretty sure someone will turn around and say, so if I just slow down my network to this point and oh look, I've won it in -1 seconds.
Right, but that's obvious. It's easy to pick up.
Well, as long as you put in all the data validation. That's the problem, is the sheer volume of data validation you have to put in to prevent someone from, say, I don't know, changing a drop-down list. So instead of it going from 1.0 to 1.2 to 1.25 to 1.5 times font level, he changes it to 5 times font level and then wonders why he breaks it and can't change it back. You have to do all sorts of crazy crap. I was like, there's a story behind this.
I think they also could put like, if you go the competitive route, it could go like they could make some nice rewards, maybe dojo decorations, arbiter decorations. Maybe if that's like the highest reward, maybe some armor. Yeah.
Oh wow! Yeah.
Like, and to streamline the farming, like to put more challenges. Like you don't need to like the voice over all of them or something. You just put different rings in different locations, and people have like probably 10 per half of a year Or as example, you can put it as an optional challenge for Nightwave, where you do like available during the Nightwave challenges. You do them, and you get the optional reward of armor, some resources maybe. No, resources is a bad idea. People hate resources as rewards. Armor, weapon, something like this. Something cosmetic, something nice. And this way people they can feel a little bit forced. But if we will streamline the process, like you're doing a challenge, you get a lot of XP. Then you can level up it faster. It means that it will be funnier and it will be better than general leveling process, which is very tedious. Like we all leveled a lot of weapons and warframes. We know how tedious it can be.
Yep, that's why we have been blessed by Elite Sanctuary Onslaught.
Right, well, that is the end of the comments from last episode. We will now move on to looking at the memes. So while Xeno is copying and pasting a big pile of links, which is what we want to do, I will be telling you that all of the memes that we're about to look at are from the r/meme frame subreddit. Some lovely people on there put memes literally every day. And if you ever want to chuckle, just go down there and you'll find some lovely Warframe-based jokes. So, Xeno has pasted them. Good, there we go. There's links. So all the links, by the way, are in the description below, along with the secret meme of the week, which is normally a video because I can't show, because we show pictures, not videos. So if you go check it out, and it's normally pretty good. So, meme number 1. So we've got, yes, that's good. At least they warn you about it. Optimize your install, speed up missions and loading, and trim wasted hard drive space, 6,122 megabytes. Warning, it may take a while to finish. Yes or no? Well, this little maneuver's gonna cost us 51 years. Yeah. Loon, by the way, what do you play on PC?
Yes, I play PC.
Good. So you know about optimizing that install.
Yes, I actually optimized it yesterday when I was downloading it. Yes.
Sometimes takes a bit too long to optimize. Then, right, meme number 2. Yeah, this one's going to be probably a little bit small on there, but still. 4 levels of invisibility plus silence, and he still detects me. We have Navara, Cloak Arrow, Prowl, Skajati's buff, Arcane Trickery, Silence mods, and no one else was killed. The capture target when you are 30 meters away from him in a separate room. A Tenno is nearby! Run! How do they know? How do they know? They are clearly psychic.
They're telepathic.
Meme number 3. Not mine, but extremely funny. Here we have the death of Helios at the bottom there with the gladiator mods. And I can forget the Sentinel's name all the time. Oh, what is it? Oh, what is that?
Sentinel.
What?
Tenno's first Sentinel.
That is not what it is called.
I think it's called the Taxon.
The Taxon, yes, the Taxon. So there we have the Taxon. I don't know why the Vigilante set, which is the next thing I have to look up. Why is the Vigilante set good for the Taxon? But apparently it is. There we go. So there is the Taxon laughing over the Helios's grave. Next.
Hold on.
Okay.
I'm waiting. Vigilante.
What's the set bonus?
Set bonus, 5% chance to enhance critical hits from primary weapons.
Interesting. I have no idea why that's useful, but there's probably a reason of some cleverness that we are not aware of. Right, meme number 4. Yep.
Oh my god.
You can find many things there. If Necromex were in dark sectors. That is amazing.
I misread that. I thought that was Dark Sector, like the game.
No, Dark Sectors. Yeah.
Okay.
Yes. Oh, right. The next one is very small. Is that meme number 5? Yep. Okay. Yep. Phrasing. So it's blocked out as just we know the person, something L prime. Looking for help killing my sister. Why would you just put that in chat with no context? Is a bit like I thought it was brilliant.
Yeah, like why on earth would you possibly say that?
Yeah, who knows were they trying to kill their sister at Parvos or their real sister? We just don't know. Right, moving on to the final meme of this week.
Oh my god.
Bonus points if one has high crit and the other has high status, or vice versa. This is my new automatic primary rifle with an AoE alt-fire. DE, this is the 7th week in a row you've shown that in class. And there we have all the other fairly recent automatic primary rifles with an AoE alt-fire. I think DE needs to come up with some more things for rifles to do. There we go. Right.
I'm just trying to think what the oldest one in that list is, and I think it's the Javlock.
I think it might be.
Good old Javlock.
Yeah, I think it is. Right, well, that is the memes this week. If you want any more memes, go to the Meme Frame subreddit or find the secret meme in the description below. So we are now moving on to the community shoutouts for the week. So Xeno's first community shoutout is going to be on screen now.
While he still frantically tries to get the time.
At least you paced already.
Yep. So the first community shout out, this was actually submitted by Nazareth. Oh. This is Hydroid as Poseidon by Ikado. Oh, Ikado?
Wow.
Yeah.
Is that is that drawn? Is that what is that?
I don't. If that is capture,
is that Captura just enhanced?
They must have seriously enhanced it, but I don't recognize the pose if it is.
Yeah.
So,
wow,
it looks pretty. Yeah, I like that one a lot.
Oh.
The next community shout out was submitted by Thalian. Is Oberon by Boop Dega. I have no idea how that spine works. But still, I like it.
I mean, it's normal comic spine. We just Warface can do that instead of humans.
Loz, you need to go further into your Lassette and demonstrate for us.
Well, I haven't got the foot trackers on.
Oh god, you don't, do you?
Yeah, I could try. But like the neck, how does the neck work?
No, I mean, I love it because I feel like I feel the intention to try to like typical superhero woman in the comics on the cover, and I like it. But because it's Oberon and he's dumb and thick, it's very beautiful. It's very beautiful. I like the details. I think I saw it on Twitter. It's really nice.
I also think that this is Lotushim's Oberon as well. So, right, the third community shout out is Sisters of Parvos in a Nutshell by Folly. I saw this one, I just could not stop.
I mean, this year was all about tall ladies which step on us.
Yeah. Yeah. God, what was the title of that article from Polygon?
Oh, Warframe's new adversary is going to choke me with their thighs, and I'm okay with that, or something.
Something like that. It's just like, jeez.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's like, hello, fellow kids. I know your memes.
Yeah. The fourth community shout out is Ureli by Trash Frame, and I believe this is in game.
Yes, it's in glyph and it's in game. It's very, very
I thought
nice.
it's a display decoration.
Oh, not both.
I'm not sure. I thought it's a glyph, but I'm not very reliable on it. I still remember the artwork. It was in game, 100%.
Yep. Right. The next one is a video, which I'm sure, Loz, you might want to mute or something.
I've seen it.
I think it's yeah. Okay. So this is Call of the Tempestari.mp4 by Noddle.
Another day.
everyone.
So the link
should...
to this will be the 5th community shoutout link in the section below. Do click on the description and find it. It is a funny little video that really should be in the memes. It's great. It's really hilarious.
I was kind of worried
it's too
that,
good
oh
for
my
me.
God.
It's not a meme. It's a little cartoon. It's too good for that.
Yeah. And then the 6th community shout out is the Gara Prime glyph by Space Waifu, which again, this was commissioned by DE, so this is actually also in game.
Yeah. I love Taylor as the first one to reply on that with, "Can't wait to use this and literally nothing else for the rest of time." Yep. So we'll have to hold them to that.
Yeah.
I mean, it's really beautiful. I wanted to get this one as well.
Oh yeah.
I don't know. It's something charming and very simple in it.
That is
cool.
awesome.
Right. Well, that's it. We're coming to an end. Just want to say, Loon, it's been absolutely lovely having you on the show. Thank you very much for coming on. And now, unless anyone else has anything they want to say, Loz,
nope.
I will.
I'm missing a section.
No. I will move on to the ending quote.
Okay.
Cool.
I mean, it was really, really nice to talk with you. It was a really big pleasure. It's first time I'm on thing like this. It was very nice experience. I really like. Maybe one day I would like to come again back as well.
Yeah. Totally. Yeah. I'll try and plan it in the list.
Yeah, to talk 2 more hours about lore of a game.
Yes.
Do you know, actually, it makes a very good point there. Before we started, I looked at the topics and went, "Oh, Xeno, these topics, they're nothing to do with the new patch. We need to have some topics about the new patch. Oh, we're not going to be able to talk about lore for 2 hours." Like, no, we can talk lore for days. It's great to find people who can. So, yeah.
Right.
Yeah. It's been lovely having you. But let's finish off the quote first, yeah.
Right, so quote.
So this will be just so you let know, to give you a bit of a thing. So Xeno has found a quote from a movie. We are able to ask him some questions, which we will try and narrow it down. He's taken a quote from a movie, and we have to try and guess what the original quote, well, the movie the original quote is from what he says. So he'll give us the quote now, and then we'll go from there.
Cool. We're being hunted. The Bastille, the Acolyte, all of us. All brought here for the same purpose. Oh. This moon is a stalking grounds, and we're the target. In case you didn't notice, we all just got flushed out. They sent in the Kubidons, just like you. If I think that's like just if you would. I think it's wrong in IMDb. Just like you would if you were stalking Bolarola or shooting Sorgor. They split us apart and watched. Testing us.
Oh, it's not Predators again, is it?
It is.
What?
It is.
Didn't you have this like last week?
No.
You had this like
I have done this before years ago, right? But the first time I did it, it was like pretty shit.
I think you did it 2 weeks ago, Predators. Or if not, 2 weeks before that.
2 weeks ago was Lethal Weapon. 2 weeks before that was Kong Skull Island. 2 weeks before that was Rain of Fire. 2 weeks before that was Lego Movie 2. 2 weeks before that was Alien. 2 weeks before that was the first Lego Movie. 2 weeks before that was Tenant. 2 weeks before that was Thor Ragnarok. 2 weeks before that was Hotel Armus. 2 weeks before
That's fine. It may have been that I actually was looking through the old quotes. Wow, that really took the thing out of that. I swear recently I was talking to you and I said I like Predators, but I hated the way they did about the trailer cheated with all the beams on it.
Yeah, we did talk about that.
Were we just randomly talking about Predators? Oh, damn it.
Yeah, we just randomly talking about Predators. Have you seen Predators? Loon?
Yeah, I'm sorry. I a little bit faced out trying to understand this call.
Sorry. Have you seen the movie Predators?
Yes, I saw that. I mean, I'm actually a big fan of Predator, but like, how to say? I mean, it's obvious. I'm big fan of Yaoja. but not films themselves. But in the same way, I'm a big fan of Alien franchise, classic one, except probably third film. And I hate Prometheus. Yes, this is a hot take.
No, Prometheus is a steaming pile of shit.
Yep.
Yes.
Yep.
Alien Covenant, same.
Yep.
Yes.
Yeah.
But I didn't see Predators, I think, for like 5 years, so I wasn't. I remember the plot, but I'm sure as hell don't remember the quote.
You're fine. But please tell me you have not watched The Predator, the most recent one.
I watched it, and it was actually it was I don't know how to put it. It's like it was hot garbage, but it was like a trash movie. Like trash movies is like they didn't even try. They knew it will be tier trash movie. And it was like one of two times it was fun, but it was fun just because it was so fucking bad.
It's so fucking awful.
Yes, but it was a little bit like 1%. It was fun, but also because it was so ignorant and harmful, especially towards the main character, the boy. It was like, what the fuck are you talking about?
Hybridization. Oh, fucking shit.
Coming to Warframe, we're going to hibernate Warframes with Gridiron.
No, stop it. Stop it. I will fly to Canada and tell them not to do it.
Can I say another hot take?
Go on.
Alien Resurrection is not that bad.
Yeah, I prefer Alien Resurrection compared to like fucking
all the other
Prometheus
stuff. Yeah, all the other rubbish. Yeah,
Jesus fucking Christ.
Yeah, it's Alien's Resurrection with the giant white baby alien, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. You see, at least that made sense. Not like, look at bloody Alien, is it Covenant, where they ruin the life cycle of them, where they become from like spores on the ground that go into the air, that go into infect people, that release a small white alien, but then also that there's the eggs, and then and then why does he do that? Does the little alien do that? I have no idea.
there was one that like grew from the spine or something. It's Ridley Scott, can you please stop ruining the franchise?
Yeah, just stop.
Yeah.
Just stop
it felt like after Giger Gun, he was like, I can do whatever I want.
Yeah.
And now the only ones who remained. Now I'm the creator of Alien. I mean, he's also old troll. Like, I can understand he just wants his money and peace I'm out, but I mean, it's a huge franchise we all love. I mean, guy, if you hate it so much, give it to somebody else, please.
Yeah.
Loz, do you want to hit the outro button?
Okay, yes. Oh, we're still talking. Okay, outro. There we go. Yeah, sorry, I should hit the outro button. There we go.
But no.
Sorry, I think my avatar takes away of some names.
No. Yeah, fine. We will get that. It's top, very top, all the way to the top.
Oh, it's the top.
That's not top. Yeah.
Yes, I'm just saying in case if you are going to put it, so we'll not need to put credits again.
Nah, it's fine. We're good. Anyway, thank you very much, everyone, for listening. Loon, lovely having you on.
Yes.
Absolutely fantastic.
Absolute pleasure.
Thank you.
And we will see everyone next week for episode 400 to be recorded on the same day as TennoCon itself.
Got to keep that hype going.
Yeah, we got it. 400. And we'll actually have Nazeth on the show for the first time ever. So, yep, it'll be fun. Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.